Welcome back, everyone, to The Horror Returns. I'm Lance. As always, we got Philip here. We got Brian here. As is becoming normal lately, we got Steve here from the
What's
Geeks.
up? What's up, man? How's it going, Brian? Philip?
What's up?
Good.
Gotta have Pedro here. What's up, Pedro?
I'm having a great time already, man. This pre-game
Awesome.
conversation about sex dolls or sex whatever the fuck, and awkward conversations with the wives. But no, I'm excited to be here. It's my honor, my privilege, and my pleasure to be here with Steve Carlton, the legendary Steve Carlton in my mind.
Oh, so sweet. Thank you.
Designer of all the cool shirts for the Horror Returns, or I would say all right. All is that a right factual statement, or most of them? I would say
Most.
99%.
Yeah. Let's just put it away. All the cool ones. All the cool ones.
All of them except like one or two.
Yeah.
And so I'm a big fan, and I'm just happy to be here with you guys. I'm ready to give my top 10. We usually do this. I usually come in January for this, but for whatever reason, I was booked on this show. And so here we are. I'm gonna drop them. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Again, also, Pedro, I'm going to just kind of second that. It was a pleasure meeting you finally for the first time, talking with you. I'm always a fan whenever you jump on as a guest. I always get a kick out of your 2 cents, so I'm glad to be here. Can't wait to hear what you have to say about Children of the Corn.
All right.
Especially these
To
two.
quote Brian, of all the fucking Children of the Corn shows Pedro could have shown up for, he picked this one.
This one, it is pretty fruitful.
Yeah. Plus, I was
True.
looking for something in December, and this is the one that because I started watching all the Children of the Corn movies for whatever fucking reason. Don't ask me why. And so that's why. So yeah, something I was already doing anyway.
Well, that works.
Yeah.
This is all of them, right? There's not like some extra ones that I don't
This is
know
it.
about. Okay.
I mean,
All
we
right.
might get a sequel or another a
Sure
remake or
there's-
yeah,
a
it wouldn't
reboot.
surprise me.
Sequel to the remake to the reboot. All
A
right.
second legacy sequel after we got that Isaac 666 one.
Well, there's only one route to go, and that's TV series.
Oh,
yeah.
Children of the
you
Corn
just
TV
spoke it
series.
into existence, Brian.
Streaming
That'd have to
soon
be
on
the
Peacock.
Sci-Fi
Yeah.
channel or something.
10 episodes.
Yeesh. Boy. Wow. Okay, well. You never know. You never know. Actually, pretty sure it will happen now that Brian's spoken it. Usually how it goes. We've talked
Be a
about a
tough
few
one
other
to
things.
sell. When's the
I don't know,
last
if
Children
you
of the
can't get a
Corn
Tremors-
anything?
If you can't get a Tremor series
2020.
going with Kevin Bacon, then you should not be allowed to get a goddamn
True.
Children
Right.
of the Corn series going.
Yeah, okay,
More
there
than-
was
more
an
than fair.
audience for the Tremors, but Children of the Corn, when is the last successful one?
Oh, I
Was there
think
one?
after the first one, 84. That's it. It starts and
Yeah.
ends with 84.
Okay. Here you go.
Linda Hamilton. They gotta bring a 75-year-old Linda Hamilton out of
Holy
mothball.
shit. If they brought Linda Hamilton back,
She might do it.
Vicky is
She might do
back.
it.
Throw Arnold
All
in
right,
there, it would be
guys.
all right.
Cool of the week. We got 2 guests, but they're kind of both regulars. So I don't know what we're supposed to do here, Brian. What's the order we're gonna go in tonight?
Let's go Pedro first.
All right. Well, hey, it's the holidays. My favorite time of the year. Contrary to popular belief, I'm not a spooky season kind of guy because that's me 24/7 anyway. So it's all about the Christmas season with me. Right here in LA. I mean, we don't have all the 4 seasons here, unfortunately. So it's always just everything's kind of like in the middle. So the fact that it's starting to get a little cool here and cool over here in LA. I mean, you're all gonna laugh. It's like 50 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
That's cool for.
Wow.
So
There's
so I
a
like
reason you have all the homeless people.
yes, and there's the reason why everything's expensive as fuck here too, because we have that prime weather. So I've been enjoying this. I just been enjoying kind of being a little cold, watching some films, catching up on some of my top 10s. I did go out to the theater and I saw that Y2K movie that just came out by A24. It was all right. I mean, I didn't know anything about it. I thought I was gonna walk into like a rom-com, like one of those raunchy, like teenage, they gotta get laid before midnight kind of comes that was big in the 90s. and shit.
that would have been a good idea.
And that's what I thought I was gonna get into because that's what the trailer sold me. But it's actually a horror movie. I had no idea.
Really?
You know. So what happens is that these horny teenagers they're still in high school. They throw
That's
a
how
party.
you start
Right?
a horror movie.
There you go. So they throw this party, and it's Y2K, and anybody that was around in the year 2000, like I was, or I'm sure all of you were, that was the big thing, right? Nobody, if you weren't around during that time, or if you were born during that time, and it's kind of scary to think that we have some listeners that were born in the year 2000. That's kind of fucking weird. It was, yes, that was the big old ballyhoo when it comes to the news, right? What's gonna happen when all the fucking computers are gonna turn on us? You know, I better check my bank account and make sure I put everything in my mattress for a couple days because it might be gone if I. So that's the whole thing. So what happens is that, and I guess it's, you know, it's not a spoiler. It's like all these fucking the machines, the equipment, and all that shit. It comes to life and it starts killing all these kids, and during the party. And so that's pretty much the movie. The only thing with that is that the first half, where it's all like this raunchy kind of rom-com, it was pretty cool. I was into it. I was digging it, you know? I want to see where this is somebody going to fuck a pie? I don't know. But I wanted to see. And so the thing was that once it turns into a horror movie, like it loses all its levity. Like it becomes a serious fucking horror movie. And I'm like, what the fuck happened to all the humor? You know? Yeah. It's got a pretty good cast on it. You know, it's got, I don't know these fucking young actors, but there's some name. I think one of the Stranger Kids, it's on there because they're everywhere. And so, yeah, I mean, it loses points towards the end. Like, I was kind of bored at the end because it's like it has no comedy. It sets you up for that, and then it just kind of gets ridiculous with these like gadgets trying to kill you. So it kind of becomes Maximum Overdrive without like a coked up Stephen King directing it. So it you know, it's not the same, you know. Right. But yeah, so that was my cool of the week. I saw that it was all right. It was either that or werewolves, and I chose Y2K. And I don't know if I'm gonna go back to werewolves now after hearing Steve talk about, you know, his review before we went on the air. But so yeah, so that was my cool of the week right there. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing.
That sounds a little campy for an A24 movie.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, but I think the quote unquote, you know, all tour bullshit came in that it turns into like a straight up horror movie in the second half. Like that's so unusual. Weird. You know, it's so weird.
That's bizarre.
And that kind of keeps it in the realm of A24 because they do shit like that all the time.
Yeah, they're trying to expand their movie genres, from what I heard.
Right.
Makes sense.
Or they have that family movie coming out, that baby Bigfoot.
Oh God!
What movie coming out?
Hear me out. Why don't you stick to what you're fucking good at?
Right.
I kind of want to see that little baby Bigfoot. I like Bigfoot shit. Man, when Y2K hit, I was 17, didn't have shit to my name, so it didn't matter to me. Right? I was sitting on the couch by myself, took a deep breath before midnight hit, and then nothing changed, and I went, all right, well.
Yeah.
I know. I was kind of disappointed nothing
It's a big letdown, right?
I looked around, all the lights were still on. Like,
yeah. It was fun. We had a hell of a party.
The time just said 12. Like nothing changed. I was like, oh, all right, well.
Clock still works.
What are we gonna do? And then like the people in the library were the most freaked out. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Nobody will know who has books out. You're like, who gives a shit?
Oh God.
Oh no. They're gonna steal the library books.
But it wasn't covered as this kind of like jokey thing, right? It wasn't covered as like, oh, we're gonna have fun. It was like a serious issue with like mainstream news media, and that's what made it trippy because, like in hindsight, it was completely irrelevant. Nothing happened. So it's just like a little time capsule of like, you know, how clueless mainstream media could be sometimes.
Yeah.
Indeed. Indeed.
Sure. They haven't changed at all.
Not a bit. I'm like, they've gotten worse.
I'm like, some things just repeat themselves like a vicious cycle over and over and over again.
Yeah, like these Children of the Corn remakes. They keep on happening every 10 years. Every 10 years, a remake.
We're almost halfway there.
If it bleeds, it leads. All right, Steve, what you got, man?
For me, I'm gonna go with the first. No. It'll be the first batch of episodes that dropped for Secret Level on Amazon Prime. This is an anthology show where every episode is based on a different video game, many different animation styles, mostly CGI. But in episode 2 in particular is an episode based on the game Sifu, and that one is drawn almost like Spider-Verse style. And there's a part of the fight scene in that episode where you're looking at the fight from underneath like a glass floor, and it's incredible. It's so good.
That's cool.
A special shout out to a couple episodes. The Warhammer 40K one was really, really good. Can't wait to see that in live action. And I guarantee you I know who Henry Cavill's playing after watching that episode, because it sure looks like him. And then also the Pac-Man one was fucking weird. That one was just weird. That was like somebody took acid and they were like, "What's Pac-Man?" They've never played it. You know, they just see a picture and that's the story they came up with. It was a trip. It was like this dystopian alien world with like a fucking weird demon that told this thing to eat all the time. It was a trip.
Jesus Christ.
But Unreal Tournament, I think, was my favorite of the first episodes. The Unreal Tournament episode where the robots were, kept, they were supposed to be like fodder for the contestants to shoot, but one robot just kept winning and kept winning and kept winning, and then like eventually the crowd got behind it and it started this revolution. Really, really, really good. And then of course,
what was the one with Arnold?
Yeah, I was gonna say that one, Kingsmaker, but I don't remember the game it was based on. New World, I think it was based on a game called New World. And
New World. Okay.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is the voice of this king character who's just awesome.
He's in the third person.
Yeah, he dies over and over again. He keeps coming back. He's like, "Oh, Master lives!" Like so much, and it's just over and over. Oh God! And that one is like a sweet episode. A lot of them are kind of dark and fucked up, but that one's like super cute and sweet at the end. Like, it's really good. And the second batch of episodes dropped today, so.
Yeah, I'm 2 episodes into the second batch. I really enjoyed that Mega Man one. But
I was waiting for that one.
It's the shortest one out of all of them so far.
So far, the shortest one's been 10 minutes, so I hope it's shorter than that.
Under 10 minutes, I think.
That's rough.
What is this called?
Secret Level.
Secret Level.
Man, and the longest episode.
That Pac-Man one alone sounds interesting.
I know.
The longest
Fucking
episode is only 20 minutes.
I'm down.
So they're very short, averaging between like 13 and 15 minutes usually. But really, really, really good.
Level. All right.
Speaking of the video game stuff, I don't have a ton of like movies that I watched this week for Cool of the Week, but because I've been working on my Nintendo and trying to restore that stuff with some games, and I was jamming out on some Dragon Warrior. It is the most basic RPG ever, but it's a classic. And I'm like halfway through it, man. I'm having a good time with it. It's fun, nostalgic.
Dragon Warrior, huh?
Yeah, dude. And I pulled the whole cartridge apart and cleaned that bitch up. And it's a first time go every time now. With the Nintendo, that's not bad. Remember, you had to blow in
those kind of games, like the Nintendo, they're like 8-track tapes, right? You have to be committed to the game because they don't have like a save option. They don't have
very few of them. Oh, yeah.
That one has a save
Metroid is like an 8-hour game, like from beginning to end. The original Metroid, that's a long ass fucking game.
I gotta get that one.
but in that show, Secret Levels or whatever it was called, Secret Levels, is that what it was called?
Yeah, Secret Level.
Yeah, they should have had one of Battletoads, and then you don't get to the end because nobody has ever gotten to the end of any fucking game in Battletoads. So that should have been the in joke. You cut it off in the middle of the episode, so like, nobody sees the end.
Strangely enough, there was a lot of not a lot of big name titles in Secret Level, but it just got renewed for season 2 as soon as the second batch of episode dropped for season 1. So we'll see what kind of big names we get for the next season.
Nice. That sounds fun.
The Dungeons and Dragons episode, so good.
Dungeons and Dragons, dude.
It's really good.
I started thinking about some of these old retro games, and I'm like, man, I kind of want the original carts for those. I'm gonna have to start collecting stuff.
Now you're getting into a Lil's world.
I know.
You're getting bit by the bug, man. Don't do that. Don't do that.
And those motherfuckers are not cheap, dude.
Lil has
they're hard to find.
Museum. I'm sure. He's got all the old systems, thousands of games. He has been for the last decade just. He's got everything. I was with him when he finally found a Power Glove. That shit was nuts.
Oh, I used to have a Power Glove.
And you guys said he wouldn't keep up with it.
I forgot about that thing.
Oh, it's useless. You've only put that thing
Yeah.
on a shelf. You can't play with that. It's
Oh
garbage.
yeah.
It's just there to look cool.
But yeah, I started looking at the old school Zelda game, and like for the gold cartridge, it's like $60. Dude, what?
Yeah.
Believe it.
Yeah.
It's a fucking 40-year-old game.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you can't find old video games at like thrift stores and shit. VHS
Yeah.
tapes, you can. Usually, I get them on
That's
a really
true.
good deal.
Yes, there's a lot more of those out there, right?
I picked
That's
a hobby
fun,
that was very easy on the pocketbook.
I gotta find a garage sale or something.
Smart.
Oh,
Yeah.
flea markets. You
And
get
a
a lot
estate sale.
big flea markets.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Like street fairs and shit like that.
Yeah,
You get a ton of stuff there.
that works. Yeah,
All right,
eBay's
Brian.
got a few of them.
Brian,
Okay,
what you got for us, man?
I got 2 shows and 2 movies. Steve already
Nice.
talked about Secret Levels. I'm enjoying that. Probably finish the second batch of episodes tonight. Checked out the first episode of Dexter Original Sin.
Oh
Mhm.
boy.
It's fine. It's probably nothing they're dropping week to week.
Okay.
It's probably nothing I'm gonna watch every week. I'll probably wait till the
Yeah.
season's out and then just watch the season. They did a pretty good job casting on some of the characters. The actress that plays his sister doesn't really look like Jennifer Carpenter, but she has the voice and the mannerisms down.
Okay.
So I
Jennifer
think
Carpenter's
No, I mean,
pretty unique looking, though.
true.
Well,
Yeah,
it's like-
that is true.
it's like they didn't even try though with this one.
Yeah.
It's got a-
Yeah.
But I mean,
She's an
like
African American
brown hair.
lady all of a sudden. Is that what you're saying?
they recast it. But I mean, Christian Slater doesn't exactly look like a young James Remar.
yeah.
He can pull it off, though. He can pull it off.
No, because at times he has a Jack Nicholson thing going on.
Of course.
Yeah, and
Well,
plus,
that's
like, Christian Slater
for you.
playing a young James Remar is weird.
Yeah.
Christian Slater's old as fuck too now. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
right.
It's probably the same age. He's
And
like
at the
3
end
minutes
of,
younger than James Remar.
at the end of
What
the
hell?
episode, they announced that Dexter Resurrection premieres in June.
Oh God.
I didn't watch the first Resurrection show he had, where he was in the snow.
Well, they kind of answered that question at the beginning of this episode. So
I'm waiting for the book of Dexter. When is that coming out? Since we're at the book of with the Walking Dead, that one.
The
show.
Book of Dexter.
well, I heard they're doing
The book of Carol. Might as well join in with the book of Dexter.
Sure.
I heard they're
sure.
doing a series on John Lithgow's character.
Oh, why?
Okay.
Like, that
He
was
died,
cool.
though. He died.
That was the
I don't
best
think they'll
season.
have John Lithgow back.
Ah,
I just seen a
They're
trailer.
gonna
of-
recast.
Christian
I've
Slater.
seen a
played
movie trailer
John
with him in it, and he's like 90 years old.
Yeah, they can't. Yeah, they're gonna recast it to be like a young Ice Road killer or whatever the fuck he was.
Yeah.
Sure. Sure.
But props to John Lithgow because he squeezed that character for everything it's worth, man. I mean,
Yeah.
every
Yeah,
time
he
his
was
name
good.
comes up, you match it up to that character, and that was only one season, right? I mean, I think it was the 4th season or something like that. So,
The
yeah.
high point. Kind of the high point.
It was the best for me. It was all down.
Maybe
I
they'll-
think that's
Maybe
the
they'll have
season
one of
that
the
I actually
Stranger Things
watched.
kids playing.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Now,
Finn Wolfhard is the Ice Road
There you
killer.
go.
spoke it.
Oh fuck! I keep doing that.
I don't know if that works.
All right, my first movie I'm going to talk about is my not cool of the week.
Uh-oh.
And blame this one on Lance because of the 25 days of Christmas I promised him.
Okay.
Looking for a Christmas movie. One dropped on Amazon Prime. I was like, fuck it, it's new. It's an action movie. I'll watch it. And that's Red One.
Yes.
Probably the worst movie I've seen all year. There's
Who's in
many.
I saw that too, Brian.
The Rock,
I saw it too.
The Rock.
Captain
Oh,
America.
right.
Captain
Okay.
America,
Oh,
J.K.
yeah.
Simmons,
Yikes.
Damn, I kind of wanted to
First
watch
thing
that.
I
It's not
ever-
any good.
Like an 80
Lucy
pound
Liu.
Simmons.
There's
There's
many
a-
times. Many times I just kept
So
looking at my
bad.
daughter. It was just like, they fucking made this movie.
Yeah. That's rough. That's rough.
Somebody paid them to be in this movie.
There's a
Even the
quote.
Jack Black one was better than that.
There's a quote going around out there where Dwayne Johnson was watching Oppenheimer on IMAX and was like,
Okay.
"Oh man, Red One would kill if we had it on this side screen. Like it would
Oh, no.
change the game." And it's like, I believe The Rock thinks that kind of bullshit. Like, I believe
I'm
it.
sure
The way he was like, I'm
don't.
Black Adam. Like, the
I
way
don't
he
at all.
believed all that, like, oh.
After this movie was made, it all makes sense. The Rock coming back to wrestling, The Rock coming back to Fast franchise, Chris Evans coming back to the MCU.
Sure.
Because every time something happened, I just kept looking at my daughter, and I think she got tired of me saying it. I was like, somebody paid to have this movie made.
It looked that way, yeah. Sure looked that way.
Like,
and they're all cashing it in too. They're all cashing it in. They're not even trying. They're all going through the motions.
They're whores.
Yes.
And they have a high bar now, though. Unfortunately, because of the last couple of years, you have Fat Man with Mel Gibson was fucking
that was a good one.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And you have
Silent Night.
Violent Night with David Harbour.
That was
so good. Both of those movies, high bars. Like, and you're like, this is what you need to do.
I haven't watched that.
You haven't watched Fat Man with Mel Gibson
Oh,
and
come on,
fucking Walton Goggins?
You talked about it one week.
Jesus Christ.
I think you talked about it, dude. I think you were drunk.
Where, like, the military comes, the military has to start a contract with Santa to use.
You really didn't see Fat Man?
I don't think so.
Philip talked about
me and Nez, we did an Action Returns episode on it.
It's so good.
Damn.
Oh, come on, Philip. Get on that after we're done recording.
All right, yeah. I'm watching that later.
but here's the thing. This is where The Rock gets the last laugh on all of them, because Fat Man and then Violent Night or whatever, they did not have 50 million viewers on Amazon on day one. You know, I also keep up with the wrestling news, so I always keep up on Dwayne Johnson's numbers, right? And so this motherfucker had the #1 movie on Amazon, like, of all time. Like, it broke records. So he's still, this is still making money for him. You know, it's still a big hit, even though it's shit. And
I saw his production company logo on there.
Yeah, the red one. Yeah, so he gets the last laugh on all this shit. And then
it's true.
Chris Evans, he's an interesting case, because usually with these guys, like, they do the big Hollywood movies, right? The assembly line movie. And he did it, right, with Avengers and all that. He got the big, he's a millionaire. And then usually what they do is that they start doing these artsy-fartsy films, right?
Like Puncture. Like Puncture.
Yeah. You know, because they're quote-unquote artists, right? So they want to challenge themselves. Chris Evans went the other direction. After America, he's done nothing but shit. Like, the safest fucking movies you could think of, right? The assembly line of films, the safest fucking movies. And he needs to fucking fire his agent, because that guy's stock has really went down with me. I mean,
it's only Marvel. As soon as he comes in,
the one where he had like the retarded kid or something, didn't he?
I don't remember that one.
That was quasi serious. I don't know.
That must have been a movie from the 90s.
And then he was in Puncture, where he was in a
wait, let's rewind. What movie?
Yeah.
I don't know. He's done some serious stuff.
Google it. Retarded kid.
Retarded kid with Chris
Evans. Let's see what comes up. Picture of Lance on there.
He did Knives Out. It was pretty good.
Knives Out.
Yeah, he's good in that one.
But as soon as he jumped in as a Human Torch,
Captain America, wasn't it? Snowpiercer.
No, that was after.
That was in the middle of it. That was in the middle of that run.
He did Gray Man, where he had like the pedophile stash.
Oh, that's another horrible movie.
Oh yeah,
right.
And that was the Russo brothers too. So
yeah.
Now I also why they're going back to
Marvel.
Speaking of Gray Man, I actually do have a cool of the week that I did watch. It was Don't Breathe, something like that. No, what the fuck is that movie called?
Netflix.
Is that with the girl from Yellowstone where she gets injected and can't move?
No. It was the one where they're off in like the Dust Bowl in Oklahoma way back when.
Hold Your Breath.
Yeah, Hold Your Breath. There
Sarah
it is.
Paulson.
Yeah, Sarah Paulson.
She does her cry face.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but you know, you couldn't have picked a more perfect person to play an insane mom, because that's kind of what she looks like.
That's what she does.
She's getting typecast though. I'm like Nurse Ratched. I'm like, it's all the same person, just in different outfits.
No, like I want to think that she's not a total bitch in real life, but I don't want to run into her.
And she doesn't look like she could exist in our time though, right? Like she looks like she only exists in the past.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing.
But that one wasn't bad. I mean,
Brad
it was
won.
good, but it was
Brad won.
Red one. And my last movie I checked out just dropped on Netflix, I think Friday, and that's Carry On, action thriller with Taron Egerton.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I meant to start watching that, and I never finished it.
It's a pretty decent thriller. It's more thriller than action.
Okay.
Taron Egerton plays a TSA agent, and
Jason Bateman's in it, right?
Jason Bateman's the bad guy, and he basically
that'd be great. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm down.
tells
I love
him he
Jason
needs to let a package go through the checkout, or he'll kill his girlfriend, and that's basically where the movie begins.
You know how Jason Bateman plays the bad guy? Like
How's
he
that?
plays every other role.
Oh yeah.
It's just
Dead
Jason.
man.
You know what?
Bateman. I
I'm
love
totally okay with that.
including a line that I think he has in every movie where he calls somebody buddy, right? Come on, buddy.
Yes.
That buddy. Like every fucking movie.
I think he does.
Buddy. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna do this. All right, let's go.
Angry man.
Okay.
I love Jason Bateman.
You know, he does that same.
Yeah,
thing.
and Carry On, he calls him buddy
Great.
a couple times. You got this, buddy.
Yeah, got to.
The weird thing
Yeah,
is Taron Egerton is super British, and the whole opening
Right,
monologue that he gives is about the difference between American Christmas and British Christmas. It's like, why don't we say Happy Christmas? It's so weird. Like, you're so British. This has to be the weirdest dialogue that you could be saying out loud and not laugh. Like, you're faking an accent to say that.
Christmas.
Not here. We watch Harry Potter and see what they say.
But
Do
yeah,
they say Happy Christmas? Is that what they say in the UK?
It is.
Oh.
yeah.
Well, not here.
But yeah, it was a decent action thriller. I wish there were just the most of the action doesn't come until, like I say, like the last 30 minutes of the movie when he's trying to stop something from happening. Yeah.
Okay.
But it was a good watch.
It was
All
a
right.
cool technique they had to take people down too. The bad guys. I was like, oh shit, that's it, and they're dead. Damn.
Yeah.
It's a wrap. And then big characters, you're like, oh damn, that person just died like that. Mixtape, no.
Yes, right.
Wait, Mixtape died?
Check it out.
Yeah, he
No,
got
don't
hit with
say
the
anything.
tag.
Don't say
And he went
I
down.
thought he made it.
See, you don't know who I'm talking about yet. You won't even remember.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Oh,
All right.
Mixtape. I
I
thought
still
he
want to
made
watch
it
this,
dead.
guys. Don't give the whole movie away.
No, we're well. I mean, this is not a spoiler, but this is something that kind of threw me back. So it also has Theo Rossi. I think it's Theo. Yeah, the guy that plays.
Oh
Shane,
yeah, he's great
Juice.
from Sons of
right,
Anarchy.
Juice. And he's like the techie guy, right? So when the movie starts, I'm thinking, oh
can
shit,
see
pretty
that.
cool. We're gonna have Die Hard in the airport, which was part 2, by the way, but not in an airplane. It was in the airport.
Sure.
And I'm waiting for Jason Bateman's team we get to meet all the team, right? They all have the wacky characters, but no, it's just 2 fucking guys. Like I'm like,
You fucking guys, eh?
what's the rest of the team in this movie? Like it's just
Yeah, that's true.
Shades and Jason Bateman, that's all we get. But you know what? That's cool though, because they're so smart. They only need 2 guys. That it was good. I like how they did that stuff. So yeah,
It's weird to see Juice with hair.
yeah, that's
Oh
right.
yeah, he's always.
Yeah, it feels like a
bald, right?
wig every time.
Yeah.
And does he have that tattoo on his head? I bet he does. You know?
Yeah, and there's also a pretty cool car scene, and I'll leave it at that. It's a little played out now because a lot of these action movies do it, but
Okay.
it's still thrill to see. So yeah, check it out, Lance, when you have time.
I'm in. Yeah, Jason Bateman and Theo Rossi. I'm in.
It's a Christmas movie too, Lance.
Counts.
Cool. All right. Well, I got a lot of catching up to do on that. All right, my cool of the week. I'm going with a series finale of Yellowstone, mainly because I didn't think I was gonna like it. Because the beginning of this season, spoiler alert, but I think everybody knows now they killed off John Dutton, the main
Off-screen?
character, Kevin
Off
Costner's
screen?
character. Yeah, totally fucking off screen. He had a falling out with the Taylor
Of course.
Sheridan. So
And
he
then
got
Taylor
booted-
Sheridan cast himself as the main character
Yes,
for the next season.
he got booted out of the Sheridan verse,
Seriously?
man. Yeah, he got booted out of the Sheridan verse, and now Taylor Sheridan's like the big dude that owns the ranch in Texas, where they're gonna have the next spinoff show and yada yada yada. But I was happy with it. I think the way that they ended the show, and I don't want to give too much away because it just came out a couple of nights ago, but I think they tied everything up with a nice little bow, and let's just say hashtag land back, Naz. You'll appreciate it. You'll appreciate what they did, what they pulled off to keep the developers from getting the land. So Yellowstone finale. I'm not going to say any more. Cool of the week.
Okay.
Well, hopefully with Kevin Costner in to make some of that money back from Horizon,
No
whatever.
shit. Yeah,
they'll find a way. They'll find a way to write him back into the show.
I was excited for Horizon, and I still haven't. It's on.
Oh,
You can watch it on HBO,
bad.
and I'm just like,
it is bad.
I don't want to watch it. It's so long, and I
don't
heard
know.
that none of the stories even connect. I'm like, I just don't care.
Let me put it to you this way: Horizon was so bad that when AJ and I saw it in the theater, let's just say that first Biden-Trump debate was not the worst thing we saw that night. Oh,
I bet you Werewolves is still worse.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, but Werewolves.
I don't even know what Horizon is.
No, Werewolves might be more fun, at least. At least there's werewolves in it.
Kevin
Like in Horizon, there's no werewolves.
Saga. You put
Kevin
Saga in
Costner's
there.
and it's part 1 of 3. Kind of like Wicked. Kind of like Wicked, Brian.
Maybe
I'm not
he's
watching
not
that
the best
either.
director.
At least he didn't animate himself like James Gunn did and put himself in the opening credits of Creature Commandos, which was fucking weird as fuck.
Oh, Brian's seen that.
That show is
I don't think we've
awesome.
seen it yet.
Yeah.
That show's great. Creature Commandos is really, really good.
Brian
and then
said it was very adult.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Very
There's a lot
adult
of
animation.
A lot of fighting, a lot of killing,
fucking.
a lot of fucking. a lot of that going
Visual
on.
fucking too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bodily fluids getting swapped on that show.
Aye. Well, there's a lot of that in one of these Children of the Corn remakes, but we'll get into that.
Really quick, there was another movie that we always put on over here at Christmas time, and it is a Netflix original, and it's actually like a good Christmas movie. It's called Love Hard. Have you seen that one? It's like a cross between one of the characters' favorite Christmas movie is Love Actually, the other one's is Die Hard, so it's called Love Hard, and it's basically like a catfish story, but it turns into something else. It's really funny and really, really good. It's sweet. It's like it's kind of like a Hallmark movie, but better. Like it's like got some real acting behind it and some actual comedy and some real production quality. It's Love Hard has been 3 years in a row has been our number one go-to holiday love movie for me and the wife. So
right.
Well,
there it is.
We'll check it out. But for now,
check it out.
Brian is going to bring us some horror headlines. What's going on in news this week, Brian?
Not much. A lot of Scream news. McKenna Grace. We last seen her in the Ghostbuster movies. She played Egon's granddaughter.
Oh yeah,
joins the cast of Scream 7.
She's gonna be the tech friend, guaranteed.
The nerd.
It ain't gonna be Theo Rossi this time.
No Theo Rossi.
Also, Mason Gooding returns. He played Chad, one of the twins.
Okay.
Jamie Kennedy's niece and nephew.
He's one of the kids that got stabbed in both of those previous movies and still lives.
Several times.
The fuck off. That turned me off to that. No, but he didn't just get stabbed. He got massacred on screen.
He better be walking like Dewey in the next movie.
Huh?
He
better be walking like Dewey in the next movie.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. But like, so what? They're just gonna follow his character that moved across the country to like, and then as that character, like you moved. I'm just making up my own movie, but like you moved and you happen to move to the same neighborhood as Sidney Prescott, dumbass. Like, what are you doing? Get out of there. You need to be as far away from all these motherfuckers, all these legacy characters as you can.
Let's see. This should take away any hope of I Know What You Did Last Summer from people. Is Jennifer Love Hewitt is officially back, even though they've already started filming the movie.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, she posted her return with an image of her with a bunch of those stupid Post-it notes all over the mirror that said, "I know what you did," or whatever. You know?
What?
Like,
the fuck is that all about?
Like
I already wasn't excited for this movie.
I was until this last year when we watched all of them in a row, and then I was like, this franchise sucks.
Oh yeah, y'all did them for the show.
It's gonna be better than the third one. It has to be.
You think?
That movie made me question a lot of things. That third
I don't
one.
even know if I remember anything.
Your sexuality or what?
Oh no, come on, please. But
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
that when you find out the killer in that one is the ghost of the killer from the first two movies,
Oh, that one.
Man.
it's pretty wild.
Rough.
Spoiler alert.
I'm still waiting
20-year-old
for that
movie.
Urban Legends legacy sequels coming up, because that's a good franchise, I think.
Right around the corner, right?
I don't think so.
Did they go supernatural in the last one?
Yeah.
Bloody Mary or something.
That's right.
Well, I'm cool with that.
I only
Let's go
remember the first one.
Yeah. Candyman.
That's what's fun. I don't want to see just some dude knifing people.
Well, you can't have a
Okay, I can
fisherman
see that.
killer in Colorado either. Like,
Right.
I mean, maybe by the lake, but these were like in the mountains. These, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That wasn't even a lake.
Now the thing about Jennifer
Good point.
Love Hewitt is that she looks nothing like the Jennifer Love Hewitt from that era, like nothing at all. So
Okay.
that's gonna be
In a
interesting.
bad way or in a good way?
I mean, whatever.
It's Hollywood.
Like,
It's a
take
good way.
it, you know.
Okay.
Yes. So I don't know if they're gonna CGI. I don't know what they're gonna do, but we'll see what happens.
Do you think they're gonna bring Brandy back? She didn't die.
Ugh.
Might as well. They keep calling it a legacy sequel.
Yeah.
They'll all be in there for some reason.
They could probably get Brandy for cheap.
You bring
What's she
Reese
doing?
Witherspoon back.
She was in that
Sarah
one movie
Michelle
this year.
Gellar. Or
Yeah.
what's his name?
Sarah
Ryan
Michelle Gellar
Phillippe.
died. They're all dead.
There's no rules to these movies, Steve.
Yeah, but
That's
it's
true.
also
It's true. There was a
yeah.
ghost in the third one.
Yeah,
A literal ghost.
thing to it.
And you know
I'm
how they
almost
killed the
positive-
ghost? A wood chipper.
What?
I'm
Come
almost
on,
positive I
stop.
read
Ghosts.
they asked Sarah Michelle Gellar to come back, and she said no, because she told him, she reminded him her character's dead.
She's like, hey,
That makes
you remember
sense.
the first movie
Oh,
where I
she's
died,
gonna
right?
be a ghost. She's gonna be a ghost in this one.
Yeah,
Okay.
But they got to keep her away from wood chippers because ghosts and wood chippers do not mix.
Don't
I know
mix.
what you did last summer.
Also, hasn't she seen Broken Lizard's Beer Fest? You could always bring them back as a twin. We know that. So
Yeah.
That's right. It was the long lost twin.
a long twin with the accent. So there you go.
Coming with a really bad British
Yeah.
accent. Hello, governor.
Sarah Michelle Gellar pops up with a bad accent.
all
Oh,
she
no.
says is cheerio and oi.
Or a German accent for Beer Fest.
Let's see. Another Stephen King story is getting adapted.
Of course.
Autopsy Room 4. Lance,
Okay.
you know
Is
this
that the one where the guy was bitten by
I
the
don't
snake
know,
on
I'm
the golf
asking you.
course? Okay. Yeah, pretty sure that's the one.
He gets
It's
bit
the one
by
where
a
he was
snake.
bit by a snake.
No, the entire movie is he was bitten by a snake that has venom that doesn't kill you, but it paralyzes you for a certain amount of time. So he's there. Basically, the whole story is from his point of view while they're doing an autopsy on him, but he's alive.
Oh,
This is going to be a whole movie.
Sure. I mean, they did it with what was the one with Gerald's Game, right? They pulled that off, so
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but
I
Gerald's
actually like Gerald's Game.
Yeah, Gerald's Game was an actual it was like an actual book. This one's a short story, and that's where he runs.
True.
That's where they
true.
run into problems with his adaptations. Is like there's not enough story here for a movie. We'll
Right.
talk about it with The Children of the Corn
Well-
because it's also a short story.
I was going to say, so was Children of the Corn, and they made
And they
57
have-
movies about that.
28
They-
movies.
He's not going to get bit by that snake until like minute 48 of that movie.
No,
It's going to
just
be
gonna
all
him out there playing golf.
dialogue and character
wanna see
development, and he's got a pain in the ass stepkid or some, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be some shit you're going to have to deal with. You're like, ah, and then he's going to get bit by a
Family
snake.
drama.
And then none of that's going to matter anymore because now we have this problem. Stupid.
All right, a couple more things here. Mike
And I guarantee
Flanagan.
you'll make a T-shirt for us. Steve.
I will. I'll do it. Like
Lay
Albert
it out.
Jenkins, paralyzed on a golf course.
Mike Flanagan is going to write DC's Clayface movie.
I'm excited about that because that is a good opportunity for a lot of body horror. And a lot of shit you can do because it's mud-ish, not blood. So
Right.
you could do a lot of crazy shit without the MPAA really climbing all up in your ass because it's not
True.
showing blood and gore. You're showing like brown mud, So cool with that. I was really down on Mike Flanagan. I did not like Black Mass, and I also didn't like what's it called? What was that? The not the Haunting on Hill House, the second one, Bly Manor.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hated
Blind
that
Manor.
one. Didn't
Come
like that
on,
one.
dude.
And Black Mass I didn't like, but I loved Follow the House of Usher. I thought that was
Yes,
incredible.
everybody did, man. That was his masterpiece.
Beginning to
Out of all of them.
end, incredible. So I'm excited for this one. I think
He's
does
got
a
to
good
be
job.
doing a shit ton of coke because like he's working on this. He's working on the DC adaptation.
Him
He's
and
doing
Taylor Sheridan, huh?
yeah, exactly, because they're doing everything. He's doing the new Exorcist movie as well.
Right.
And the Dark
So-
Tower. That just
And
the
the
Dark
Dark- yeah.
Tower.
Allegedly.
No,
Right.
he's working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spreading himself too thin. If you ask me.
Uh-oh.
And
Yeah.
another
See?
season of the Corman.
See?
Nah, I'm just kidding.
You spoke it. All right, and finally, we have our new Patrick Bateman for the upcoming American Psycho remake. It's Austin Butler, Elvis himself.
Elvis himself.
That man, Austin Butler's
That's
really
terrible.
trying to make himself into an actor, ain't he? He's like,
That is
I'm more than a pretty face.
Yeah,
He's the
do
opposite
it.
of
casting. Terrible.
Yeah.
I haven't
don't-
seen any of the movies he's in. I never saw Elvis. I didn't see Bike Riders. I haven't seen Dune 2. I haven't.
Oh, Doom 2 is so
Doom
good.
2, you know.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good.
So
The
he
Elvis
was-
movie was good.
Not because of him. Elvis'
Yeah.
movie kind of sucked, dude. It was
You
like,
didn't like it?
it's just all about the what was the
It's all about Elvis.
general or
Suck.
whatever his name was.
Tom Hanks's weird accent in that movie. Oh, hi, yeah. You are Elvis. Oh.
Yeah, Elvis.
I haven't seen either, but
Beat Berlin.
what was worse, his accent or Tom Hardy's accent in Bike Riders?
That was bad too.
Oh, the Bike Riders in general was not a good movie.
That was rough,
I was
man.
bored of tears with that
Terrible.
movie.
I couldn't agree more, dude. That was bad.
All right, that's
Night
the
Sweat
news.
was better, Pedro.
No, it
come
wasn't.
on. Let's
No,
not
it
get
wasn't.
carried away with that.
All right, we may get into that later.
All right, that's the news.
All right.
So, you guys ready to go to the trailer park now, Pedro?
Let's go.
Brian is going to bring us the big, the small, and sometimes the very, very weird. What's our first new trailer tonight, Brian?
We are going to talk about The Last Video Store.
Very, very weird. That's for sure.
Who wants to jump in first?
Well,
That's all.
as-
That's all you, Steve.
As somebody who's recording from my very own video store, I will say that this is a must-watch for me, just because of the subject matter. I'm like, cursed tape. Like, not only do I want to see that, I want to have that. Like, I want that tape.
There you
I
go.
want that fucking tape. So it looks campy, cheesy, low budget, but also funny and fun. It looks
I
like
like-
a low
I
budget.
like that he's given all the warnings, explaining what this tape is, and then she was like, "Can we watch it?" And he's like,
Yeah.
"Come to my VCR right now."
And the top loader that
Of
he's
course.
got. Oh, that chrome top loader. Good.
Oh yeah.
Whew. Oh, sorry, not chrome, it's stainless steel. But either way, that shit is tough. I have a soft spot for old technology like that. Very good.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I mean, I'm gonna check it out. I mean, again, this whole like self-referential kind of horror comedies, they're kind of played out. We've seen them
Yes.
1,000 times, but they have heart, right? Because usually these kind of films are done by fans who really appreciate that time. And I mean, if it tugs at my nostalgia strings, then I'm sure I'm gonna like it, and that's a little biased, but they know what they're doing. That's why we see a lot of these kind of films. So I'm gonna check it out. It looks well made for the budget. It's Arrow Films, which is weird because they just kind of clean up old films, but they decided to get into like the distribution game too. So I'm gonna check it out for sure. It looked interesting.
I'm reading the
I didn't know it was
synopsis,
Arrow.
Steve.
That's
Steve, this could be you.
The video Nomicon,
This
or whatever
this
it's called.
chick comes across a batch of old tapes that she's trying to unload off a video store. You could come up upon the
I
cursed tape
could.
next time you come up.
I do that. I do. I'll go to thrift stores. Where's your tapes? Let me see what you got. Oh yeah.
There it is.
Bill?
Yeah, I think it looks good. It looks like it knows exactly what it is, and it plays into it. And those movies are typically pretty okay. And I mean, they know what they're working with.
It's not going to be a 10. It's aiming for 5.
Right.
Can
Yeah,
it make
but-
that mark?
But it's
It'll either
probably
be a
going to be
6 or a
funny
4.
and campy and have some really member-bearing moments, you know, and like I like it.
Lance?
I'll watch it.
Okay.
I'll watch it.
Oh, Route, that's so enthusiastic.
I've
You know
seen
you
so
don't.
much
You
of
know
this
you don't
shit
have
lately.
to.
I mean, dude, seriously, man, this is like Frankie Frico and all this other weird shit. What was that? Destroy All Monsters. It just
Well,
kind of
Lance,
feels like
you
all
chose a horror
Huh?
podcast. You have to do all
I
of it.
know. I know.
But Lance also
You made
keeps
your
it real,
own
right,
list.
Lance?
Huh?
You also keep it real, so that's good.
Yeah, I'll watch it. That when they got into that, it's the evil video Nomicon tape. I'm like, this is fucking stupid.
Oh,
but I'll
that was
watch
my
it.
favorite part. I was
Yeah,
like,
I
oh,
know.
all right, I'm sold.
You want some realism to your cursed VHS tapes, huh, Lance?
Exactly.
All right. This is currently hitting the film festival circuit, so I will update people with the release date.
Yeah, because then you're gonna have a bunch of people yelling at you on the Facebook group or whatever, saying that you don't put the release dates on these things.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right. I've seen that.
I love
before.
it when it clearly says it on the poster. They get mad at me for not doing it.
Coming December 15th. What's the
All you
release
have to do
date?
is look at the picture. It's right there.
All right, our second and final, not trailer, but teaser announcement is the new Return of the Living Dead.
Another one?
Pedro, we'll start with you.
I mean, I thought it was a full trailer. I hadn't seen it when I messaged you guys, and it's like we just get a teaser.
Yeah, that's why I didn't put it on
Kinda
there because
weird.
it's just Tarman dragging the.
Yeah, I mean they brought
Christmas tree.
Tarman back. I just saw the second one the other day because I hadn't seen it in a long time. It was fun. And there's actually 5 of these. People seem to forget that they raised the last 2 out of their memory, but
Isn't there a rave one?
yeah, Rave to the Grave and Necropolis or something like that. And they're god awful. They were made for the Sci-Fi Channel about 15, 20 years ago. But they're bringing it back now. It's a remake. I don't know if Linnea Quigley's going to be in it. Hopefully. I mean, she could use a payday. But
I think I read the other day that I think she neither is coming back or she's open to come back.
Okay.
And
what
if she gets naked?
Well, I'm sure she will. I mean, it's in her contract, isn't it?
I think so.
And then you have is Miguel Nunez Jr. gonna come back? Because he's always a thrill to watch these things. Or
I'm sure he's not doing anything.
He's free.
He was last I saw him. I think he was DJ in the Van Damme Street Fighter movie. So we haven't seen him in years. And then that was for the 13-5. And then we have Tom Matthews. He's not doing anything. I think since this role actually. Yeah. And then the older guy is dead. He's been dead for years.
Right,
so
right.
I don't know. I'm gonna check it out. I mean, it's a remake. You know, it looks flashy. So yeah, we'll see. I love the first. The first 2 are pretty cool. Actually, I like the first 3. You know, the third one when they're like in the army base. So yeah, good stuff.
I'm looking at the synopsis. This says it takes place 18 months after the first one.
Yeah, well, it did say 1985 in the opening credits for the teaser, so I guess it's a period piece, right?
Sounds like a Christmas movie.
Yeah, Christmas movie, which is
with the Christmas tree.
That counts.
Yeah, zombie outbreak during Christmas.
Okay. Why not? You got Art the
Steve?
Clown, you might as well have zombies too,
Crazy
right?
that 1985 is a 40-year-old movie.
I know.
Like it's a
nuts,
40 years
man.
old period piece. Like
Yep.
that's like movies in the 90s that were about the 50s. This is a trip. Well, we got to make it another year, boys. We got to brave the world and make it another year. Lasting these movies so long to come out, but
I know.
I can't wait to see it. You know, I'm glad that it's getting some actual money thrown behind it, and it looks like it's got some good quality, and somebody's taking some care on it. It's not a direct-to-video, direct-to-streaming zombie movie. Never excited for those, so I'll check it out.
Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying.
It's not the book of, huh?
It definitely looks like it has some money behind it because it's already coming out with a teaser trailer a year early.
Sure.
And I mean, you can't really go off of a whole lot based on the teaser trailer, but I'm hoping it's going to be pretty good. I mean, it seems like if they're bringing it out a year early, it's going to be a theatrical release, and a theatrical Christmas zombie release, I'm down with.
Lance?
Yeah, I'll definitely be there.
We're all totally in. I'm a lot more excited about this one than the Video Nomicon.
The last video store. That's not your vibe.
This should be cool. This should be cool. I'm excited to see what else I'm excited to see who all's going to be in it and what other trailers we get between now and then.
All right, Return of the Living Dead hits. I'm assuming theaters December 25th next year.
All right,
on Christmas Day.
Perfect timing. Perfect timing.
And that was our last trailer.
All right, on to some listener feedback. We're skipping feedback this week. Awesome.
Less reading for you.
Awesome for me. As Pedro is bringing us his top and bottom 10 movies of the year, and has what has become a Horror Returns tradition. But first,
I feel like we got a lot of insight into Phil just now. He's like, less work? Yay!
Yeah. But first, we will shine the podcast spotlight on Slash and Slay. Slash and Slay is a horror movie podcast where two friends, Alyssa and Emily, discuss all things spooky. The podcast covers a range of topics, including books, movies, TVs, and slasher movie villains. It's suitable for both longtime horror fans and those new to the genre. All right, Pedro. What you got for your top 10?
All right, got it right here. I wrote it down, old school style. Kill the tree for this list. Let's do it.
Here's the paper.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start with my honorable mentions. Bottom, and they're not really bad. These films that I'm about to say are not bad. They're just disappointment. Okay. So I was very disappointed when I watched them. So I'm gonna start with Cuckoo, like that film. And you know what? Cuckoo is like. I'm
expecting this on Lance's top or bottom 5.
Okay, so but
Dan Stevens with a piccolo.
Okay, but I think that was the point of the movie. I think the movie was supposed to be this kind of wacky. So in a way, it's kind of come up in my list. It's not as bad as when I first saw it, I was pissed. Like I was like, what the fuck am I watching? Like birds fucking, trying to half bird, half person. Like I don't understand this. But anyway, so Cuckoo is my honorable mention. This next one's gonna be a little controversial, but I want to explain. So next one is Terrifier 3. Now I enjoyed Terrifier 3, but it wasn't as good as Terrifier 2. Remember, these are my disappointments. They're not necessarily bad movies.
Okay.
I thought we didn't really see, and I know now is the whole trilogy talk, right? Or even though we're trying to ignore part 1, so now it's 2, 3, and 4 are gonna be connected. So this is kind of like the middle one. I felt like we didn't get to see the lead girl in action that much. You know, she was kind of like in the background for the majority of this film. And then like I didn't really like that the girl from part 1 who becomes the new villain in part 2. You know, who starts like fucking with her shit and it's kind of disgusting. I don't know. I just felt like she didn't really get over with me, to use the wrestling term. Okay. So I was a little disappointed. I really enjoyed 2, even though 2's long as fuck. This was not as long as part 2, but I really enjoyed 2. I felt like 2, even though it's 2.5 hours, and that's a lot for a horror film, it used all its minutes, as much as you can, right? They were all justified. So Terrifier 3, I was a little disappointed. Maxine, I was very disappointed. I was on here for that review, and we're still trying to make heads or tails of what the fuck we were watching, especially in the third act. Was it a dream? Was it legit? So I know that's another one that I think in repeat viewings I'm gonna get more out of it. But for now, I was very disappointed. So those are my honorable mentions, bottom half. So now my top 10. So number 10. Now number 10 is still more disappointed than bad. Now this one, this is the thing. This one's gonna include Lance. Okay, we're gonna get involved Lance in this one. So we all love Lance. Lance is a sweetheart. We know that. But Lance doesn't really have a criteria when he judges films. He just fixates on things. That's how he judges movies. He has these weird things where he'll fixate on something, and that's gonna make it either good or bad. That's his
Dan
criteria.
Stevens and the Piccolo.
Exactly. So in this particular movie, he fixates on this last fucking sermon that this old ass lady has in the truck, with our lead heroine girl, right?
Okay,
So,
I know where this is going.
So yes, my number 10 is In a Violent Nature. Okay.
Oh no. Okay.
Because first of all, it has no repeat watch value because it's boring as fuck once you get past the oh my god, this is awesome.
Wait a minute. Is this your bottom 10 or your top 10?
No, this is my bottom 10, brother.
What?
So
Pedro.
So here's the deal.
You're killing me.
Like, first of all, if you're a horror fan, the kills are okay. Okay, they're not,
Okay.
We have the yoga girl
I've seen in 2 decades, man.
Yeah,
the yoga girl. Come on.
That's one kill. Come on, man. Most of it is just this motherfucker walking for hours and hours and hours, and then they lie to us because
you guys like video games, don't you? It's like a video.
I don't. And look, here's the deal: the director sold it to us as a point of view of the killer, right? He fucking lied because in the third act it becomes a fucking movie. Like, there's no fucking
true.
And then that old lady goes on for like 30 minutes of nonsense of a bear, a fucking, the bear went back into the river. Who knows what the fuck happened? And that's the part that you like because, it goes against.
Pedro, misdirection.
I was just bored. I'm like, what's up with this fucking lady? I think the lead girl would rather be attacked by the killer than be listening to this fucking broad for 6 hours. Look. This film, and there's a couple films. I think Terrifier 3 also falls into this. It's what I call Phantom Menace syndrome. Okay. Like, there's horror fans. There's horror fans out there that will not allow a movie to be bad. Like, they just come before they watch it. It's like, this movie's gonna be good because this is our movie and we're rallying with it. I think In a Violent Nature is one of those films. I break it down. It's really a bunch of nothing for like an hour and a half, and then that fucking sermon at the end really pissed me the fuck off. Like, I can't. and I'll tell you this much. I guarantee you that when the sequel happens, because I think they already signed on for a sequel, it's going to pick up right where that shit left off. And then whatever you were, it's going to be out the window because now it's going to be a stereotypical, there's the monster. I guarantee you that's going to happen. All right.
It's going to start with a 30-minute sermon.
I can see that.
So number 9 is Trap.
Only number 9? Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Here's the deal. Okay, I'm telling you what, in general, I feel like that was M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong's objective. Like, I feel that this movie had to be goofy. I've seen it 3 times, by the way.
Why?
Well, because family members wants to watch it as well.
Me, dude.
No, I mean, look.
Oh my god.
I go visit my family. It's on. You have to sit there with the family and watch it, And so it's ridiculous, right? This motherfucker, like, he's the luckiest guy in the world. Everything happens to move the plot forward that would never happen to anyone else. But yeah, Trap is number 9. But I think it was supposed to be goofy. Like, that's what I think anyway. Number
like a parody. You said you think it was supposed to be like a parody, right?
Yeah. Speaking of the Shyamalan Ling family, The Watcher. Watcher's number. That movie damn near bore me to tears. Like, and the ending is, I'm just thinking Nepo Baby when I'm watching that fucking movie, and it bothered the fuck out of me. So that's number 8. Number 7 is Arcadian with Nicky Cage, our boy Nicky Cage. But this is one of those. Not great. Remember back in the 90s where they would rent, where like the producers would pay like a star for like a day's day of work, and then they would revolve the entire. They would revolve the entire marketing around him. This is what happened with Arcadian. Like, Nick Cage is only in it for like 3 minutes, and then is this weird like.
So true.
This is this weird like young adult fucking coming of age bullshit, right? With these creatures that are around. So it was boring. That fucking boring ass movie too. Number 6 is The Stranger Chapter 1. Like, there was no fucking reason for this movie to exist. It's literally the same shit, We get what was that one guy, the guy that works with Rob Zombie a lot now? What's his name?
Bill Moseley?
No.
Richard Brake.
The guy we met that was such an asshole.
Yeah.
Phillips.
Jeff Daniel Phillips.
Jeff Daniel Phillips.
He's not in this movie. It's Richard Brake. Richard Brake I'm talking about.
Oh, Richard Brake. He was great.
Who I first saw him in 31. That's where, and then he's been working with.
Yes, but he was barely in this movie.
That's what I'm saying.
Like
what the fuck,
seconds,
man. So look, this movie in a vacuum fucking sucked. Okay. Yeah, but I am gonna give chapters 2 and 3 a chance because it seems like that's the movie's barely gonna progress. The story's gonna progress forward. So yeah, that was a fucking dumbass movie. Then number 5 is Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire.
That came out this year.
Yes.
It did.
Garbage.
You missed it. Did you blink, Brian? Did you blink?
And here's the deal: like every character in that movie had no purpose. You know.
I know.
Remember, Paul Rudd's arc is to introduce boundaries to his stepkid. Well, something that everybody has to do as a parent. Like, and they make it like this big deal in that fucking movie, you know? The Stranger's kid disappears for half the movie with like no, and then he just comes back in the third act like if nothing happened. Like, where the fuck have you been?
Well, he had
to go
scene in the
chase
middle of the
Slimer.
movie. Yeah, he had that main scene in the middle of the movie where he gets slimed and then he's gone again. And that's the thing I hated most about Ghostbusters is there was no fucking ghostbusting. Like the whole movie. Yeah. Every time they went to go ghostbusting, they stayed with somebody not ghostbusting and followed their story.
Where
God
was
damn
the
it.
Ghostbusters winter coats?
That's right.
We saw them in the trailer, the red coats. Where's the red coats?
There isn't. And then on top of that, all of a sudden this organization now where there's like 25 different Ghostbusters, but it's like your design. They give you like a shirt, right? Some people have a shirt that just says Ghostbusters. Some people have a uniform. And like, what's the fuck's going on here? Who's the Ghostbuster and who's not? So anyways,
his character has this whole MIB setup of Ghostbusters that he didn't tell anybody about. Like these guys have been in business for like 2 years. You haven't mentioned this.
So number 4 is Night Swim. See, it made it all.
There we go, Brian.
This was Lance's number 1 for most of the year.
It was not my number 1. It was my number 1 for the first week of the year because it came out the first week, asshole. Jesus.
Somebody said there is a swimming
It's
pool.
been a long year. Lance has been taking shit about Night Swim since January. Every single week.
No, the thing it's not. Look, listen. It's not something that Lance enjoyed Night Swim. He has that right? Everybody is subjective. It's the fact that he fucked up his own scale by giving it a 6 on 10.
I did. I tipped the scale early this year.
Yeah, like once you do that, it's like now every movie that deserves a 6 is going to be compared to Night Swim, and it's actually going to be better.
I know.
Anyways, but yeah, that movie, we talked about it for a whole fucking year already. The less said about it, the better. It's boring. It's a fucking killer swimming pool. There's this pool guy that serves no purpose other than to tell us what the fuck's going on, and then he just vanishes again. Fuck Night Swim.
I'm pretty sure even when Lance wasn't here, like even last week we mentioned Night Swim.
I think you did.
Even when he's not here.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. Okay, it's gotta end.
In the Blumhouse family, number 3 would be Afraid or Afraid. This is not a horror movie. This is literally like a Lifetime Channel drama where they include one kill, and that's the fucking guy that's trying to get laid gets in an auto accident. Spoiler alert, by the way, but don't watch it. I just saved you the fucking. That's the whole movie. It's literally a family just getting into arguments over and over about this fucking whatever AI or whatever. I don't know. It's funny. That's the worst. So that's number 3. Number 2 is The Crow. Now,
I forgot about that one.
There was no chemistry between the leads. They were like, "What the fuck's going on?" But the biggest crime of this movie is the logic, because the lead hero here has the ability to fucking influence people with his mind. But he's fucking killing this bitch because she has the little video of him committing a crime. Motherfucker, you could you're like an X-Men. You could influence motherfuckers to do whatever the fuck you want if you stand close to them. That is his power.
And he's Danny Houston, so you know he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
Right.
And everybody sleepwalks through it. Literally, we have this. I don't know. It's just a bad movie, and that's what's wrong with Hollywood. That's why it fucking flopped.
It's like two homeless druggies have sex and then they like die. We're supposed to like feel stuff. I'm like,
Like
what is
they've loved
happening?
each other forever.
They know each other for
It
2
feels
days.
gross.
This motherfucker
Like-
make deals with the Riverman and shit
Yeah.
to fucking be in hell forever.
Like I work in county buildings all the time.
Yes. You're like, I know you.
Yeah, I see you.
And then my number one's not really a horror film, but this was
you died? Not surprised.
this is a genre film that everybody hated, myself included, and that's Joker 2. Like there was no reason for.
I didn't even watch it.
This movie to exist. Like nobody wanted to make this. Todd Phillips didn't want to make it. Like he literally, it's a big joke on Hollywood. Quentin Tarantino said it himself. Like this motherfucker pulled off like the ultimate heist. Like he made a fucking shitty movie, disguised as art. He got paid a shitload of money because the first one made $1 billion, and this is what we get. First of all, this film shits on everything about Part 1, right? Everything that made Part 1 great.
Yes, it does.
There's a disdain for the fan base, for the comic book fan base with this film, right? He wants to change this idea of like the Joker not being like this anti-hero. Like it's all fucked up. It's fucking horrible. Harvey Dent's in it. You don't even know if you blink, he fucking becomes Two-Face, like you'll never see never make Part 3. So Joker 2 is my worst movie of the year. All right.
Okay. All right.
So
damn, I'm gonna have to watch it at some point. All right.
Yeah.
I skip over that
to.
movie so fucking quick on Max. It's like,
yeah, it's already on Max if you want to just. If you ever haven't, throw it on.
I guess I got to make that bottom 10 list.
There's a video
Somehow.
going around of an actor who played one of the security guards, and he's like, "We're watching him make this movie," and I'm talking to my other buddy,
Right.
He's
and we're telling him like, "This is shit. This is the worst movie. Like people are gonna pay a lot of money for this, but this is garbage." Like, as they're filming it, wow.
I watched him talk about that, and he
Yeah.
was like, while they were filming, he was like, "Are they serious with this? Everybody's singing. What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah. What's going on here?
All right, so now on the other side of the coin, my top 10. But there was a lot of good films this year. There was a lot of good films. I'm gonna run through some honorable mentions really quick that were really good. That it hurt me not to put on the list, but they're really good. The first one is ISS, International Space Station, that came out back in January. Good thriller, good.
Is that on Netflix or Prime or?
I don't know if it's streaming. I found
I
it.
don't know.
Okay.
I'm a physical media guy, man. I buy it. So,
Okay.
Then we have The Beekeeper. That was another good film, with Jason Statham doing his thing as he always does. All right.
The
Then
guy
we
that
have-
directed The Beekeeper directed Children of the Corn 2020. Just saying.
That's right. Oh boy.
Then we have VHS Beyond, which is always one of my favorite. That was a good film.
Good one. I forgot
We have
about that.
Dune 2. Dune 2 was pretty good. That movie Low Life, right? The one that has the wacky.
Oh, yeah.
That was another good one.
Absolutely.
I saw the
Low
TV
Life's
Glow.
awesome.
I saw the TV Glow was fun. A Quiet Place Day One.
I don't know if I'd call it fun.
It was a good watch. It was a good watch. A Quiet Place Day One was good. Oddity was good. Speak No Evil, which we had a blast covering here, was good. Blink Twice was a big surprise. I really enjoyed that film as well.
Oh yeah.
Salem's Lot was fun to me, anyways. I know there's a lot of haters of it. I really enjoyed it. Like
I
I
liked
liked
it. I liked it a lot.
Smile 2 was really, really good. Love Lies Bleeding was really, really good. So it was a good.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, it's a good movie. I think you'll enjoy it.
I'm a little surprised Smile 2 is just an honorable mention.
No,
It was hard. It was really hard. I'm telling you, this was a decent year. I mean, when you
You
guys
had a tough year, man.
list, you'll see that it's not easy. Okay, so here you go. Number 10 would be Sting, and not the wrestler or the singer.
The spider.
yes.
Retired this year.
That's right, he did. So this was a cool little theatrical, and one of the reasons why I sent my list is because we don't get these theatricals anymore. So essentially, this is about not so much a spider, but an alien spider, right? That takes over
creature feature.
Right, it takes over this apartment complex and it starts infecting people one by one. It's got some good character development. You have all these. You start meeting all these people in different apartments, and they all get their little character development. I really enjoyed it. It was a throwback to back in the day. So that's my number 10. My number 9 is a little movie that nobody saw. It's called Little Bites, and I thought it was really, really
I
good.
haven't seen that one. Okay.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah,
Little Bites.
it's pretty
Vampire?
good. It's a vampire movie, yeah. It's about this woman who has a child, but there's a vampire that just decided to take over her home, and he lives there with her, and in order for her to protect her child, she starts allowing herself to be bitten by this guy over and over. And the whole thing about the movie is how is she gonna get out of this? Because this fucking guy won't leave her house. Like he's
Okay.
So it's pretty cool. It's very, very good movie. Very low.
Director of Spider One.
Yeah, Spider One.
Okay.
Director. It was a really good movie. Number 8 is Beetlejuice. I mean, I know that movie has a lot of problems. I get it, especially because there's a lot of like throwaway characters. Monica Bellucci, Willem Dafoe. You could take them out of the movie and it's gonna be the same fucking movie. I get it, but the nostalgia value was there for me.
Sure.
You know, it was nice to see Beetlejuice again doing his thing. Michael Keaton being wacky. And it was nice to see like Tim Burton actually like it seemed like he was having fun again, you know, because he's been washed up for years. But it was nice.
Very, very true. Dark Shadows and shit like that.
Yes. My number 7 was Longlegs. I know you guys.
Nice,
I know the Horror Returns really loves that movie, which I don't blame you. It's great. The ending didn't work for me as well as it worked for some of you guys, which is fine.
Yeah,
which
little
is
supernatural.
But I was, you're into that fucking movie from minute one, and it's like an onion, right? You're just peeling through the mystery and you're getting to the bottom of it. And it's so fucking creepy and atmospheric. Nicolas Cage was awesome as always, even though he's also in this movie for a little while. But yeah, the ending kind of fell flat for me, and so that's why it's at number 7. But still a great fucking movie. So if people haven't seen it, definitely check it out. My number 6 is Abigail. Dude, I just had a fun time with that movie.
Good one.
Yeah. Good movie.
I'm a huge mark for those movies that do a lot with the characters' limited screen time. Like, have you guys ever seen Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight?
Oh,
like
yeah.
that,
Of course.
like everything in that movie hits it out of the park, but they're not in it for more than like the first hour, right? And so I like these little characters because I think that's a skill. It's an art form to be able to get so many characters over in that limited screen time. And this movie, Abigail, does it great. I mean, we remember all the ones that get all the characters that get hired for the job. We remember Abigail. She was great in that movie, that little girl. And so, yeah, I mean, again, the ending has its problems. I think it goes on too long, like it just does, but it was still a fun time. Number 5, I love this fucking movie, Immaculate.
Immaculate was awesome. So
I thought Sydney Sweeney like went all out on this fucking movie. Like she fucking said, you know what? I'm in a genre film. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna fucking wear some braless shirts or and let's
that's what nuns do.
Yeah, that's right.
But she gave it her all, especially in that last scene. And she produced it too, so I mean she's a fan of the genre. I mean she's done other shit to where you could tell that she's a fan of all this stuff, which is kind of cool. And the story worked for me, so it was a really, really good movie. Like I was really surprised by this film. Number 4 was The Substance, another great fucking movie.
That's
just
one I still gotta watch too.
Lot of lists.
Body horror getting a theatrical. Like this is like some David Cronenberg here.
Yeah.
Seeing,
There's a lot of Oscar talk about this one, man.
It was really good. And we talk a lot about how Lance fixates on shit. This is one of them because in his review he's like, I just didn't like the fact that they didn't. There's no doctor in charge of their care. Like, why isn't there no doctor in charge?
Yeah, that
like,
bothered me.
Like they just get these packets on the mail and they just go
self-help medical.
Go grab that sewing kit.
Kind of dumb. Yeah, kind of dumb.
Really good movie though. So that was where the hell? Oh, number 3. Where's number 3? Late Night with the Devil. Another.
Yes.
And I
The Polka Dot Man.
Yes, Polka Dot Man was awesome. Just the way that he kind of emulated like the late night host, right? He had all the mannerisms
He was
from
great.
the monologue with his hand in his pocket to just everything. The only thing about this film, because I've seen it about 4 times this year, that exorcism scene kind of loses a little bit of the luster there. It just takes a lot of screen time for what you get. But no, it
I guess.
was a great film, really good film. Number 2 was Strange Darling. I really love this film, like a lot. It's very Tarantino-ish, right? Me and you talked about it, Lance, when and yeah, you can't spoil this film. This film kind of is like one of those just you have to sit there and just watch it play out. Great performances by both of the leads. Just let me, I mean, it's a little pretentious, right? Because they tell you like, oh, it's shot on film, and Giovanni.
That's right.
I don't just know that. Like, don't fucking tell me that. Just show me. You don't have to fucking tell me that, you know. And then also Giovanni Ribisi, for whatever reason, is the DP of this film. Like, that was kind of weird.
Right.
But no, it was a great story.
The Giovanni Ribisi?
Yeah, he was the DP.
The same, I was wondering that when I saw the credits. I'm like, what? The fuck
right.
is cheapo about that?
And then my number 1 is Heretic. I could watch that film 1,000 times over and just be engaged by what's going on. You know, it's just great fucking movie. The first half is all dialogue, right? I'm not gonna spoil it because it's still somewhat new, but the first half is all dialogue. Then you see all the action kick off in the second half, and it's just Hugh Grant is fucking amazing in that movie. Like everything about him, you know.
He's killed it in about everything he's done in the past 6 or 7 years, I think.
Even as an Oompa Loompa, huh?
Yeah, dude. Like he was what made that shitty movie.
I was seeing him on screen, and he has that wicked little smile every time he looks at those girls. I almost cashed in my one heterosexual male crush on him because I was like,
the blueberry.
That's pretty, you know. For the
my heart belongs to Jason Momoa.
I don't think
even after Aquaman 2. Come on.
Well, that's okay. He doesn't need
no Dane DeHaan. No Dane DeHaan, Philip.
No, that's your crush, man.
I don't think I've ever talked about that rule here on the show, but every heterosexual male that identifies as heterosexual, they get one free male crush. No questions asked, okay? After the first one, I'm going to start asking a little questions, but there's
start questioning after that one, huh?
Nothing wrong with it. Okay, nothing wrong with that. But
Family Guy Spider-Man. Everybody gets one.
There you go.
Right.
So I almost cashed in my chips on that Hugh Grant smile he was blasting up there on the screen, but you know, I'm still a Paul Rudd guy. I'll be honest with you. So
older men, I understand.
There you go. There you go. So that's my top 10. Yeah, Heretic was
all right.
Yeah,
nice.
I'm looking forward to what you guys bring.
Man. Good list.
All right. Let's see what we got here. So that's it for this section of listener feedback, which is mostly Pedro feedback, but that's okay. Our logos, of course, come from Steve here from the Geeks. Be on the lookout for some more great stuff from him. And of course, our original skull artwork from Natsulani. You can get her t-shirt on our website too. If you'd like to help the show, please consider becoming a Patreon patron. We'll let you pick the movies for a future show at any amount, and for $5 or more a month, also pick a commentary for a future bonus show. That'll be fun. And then come on and talk to us. That'll be fun. We'll move on to our featured attractions. The last 2 Children of the Corn movies. We'll go with
You're
the
almost
children.
there, Phil. You're almost there.
Almost there. I
Home
know.
stretch,
It's like,
buddy.
oh man, it's the final stretch.
Just wait till Steve tells us the next film series after this.
Well, these are the remakes.
Yeah, I got that picked. Yep.
So we're gonna do the remake from 2009 and from 2000 and is it 22 or is it
20? This is a COVID movie,
okay?
man.
20 wasn't
2022.
released until 23.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I understand that.
Because everybody
All right.
making this was during COVID, so they all got sick.
Yeah. Or I had to shut everything down, one or the other. But we'll start with 2009. While traveling, an unhappy married couple encounter a cult of murderous children who worship an entity called He Who Walks Behind the Row. He Who Walks
Unhappy
Behind the
married couple.
That's the understatement right there. Shit.
No shit.
Understatement.
They,
Row.
they
Director and
were very
writer.
physical. Very physical with each other.
Yeah, like why are they in the car together? Director and writer are Donald P. Borchers, also known for Perfect Fit and Grave Secrets, neither of which I have ever seen or heard of. And as if to be a little Easter egg, the name Paul Butler appears among the names of the community roster where the members' birth dates and death dates are recorded. This is the name of the actor who plays Nahum, the smallest and youngest of the children. And as the actor is a junior, this name would also be the name of his father. Well, that's fun.
Okay,
Although,
sure.
albeit a little complicated.
We're dying for trivia this week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
somebody was digging for that one, man.
Well, Pedro, you want to start us off?
Yes, so there was so much fucking weird shit about this movie. First of all, the first thing that caught my eye, I don't know, it's such a small detail, I don't know if you guys remember, but when the film starts, the kid, because it starts about 12 years before the present time, which is like the 70s, I think, which took me a while to realize because it doesn't look like it's in the 70s. But that kid is dressed like, remember when Marty McFly goes back in time in part 3 and he wants to be Clint Eastwood and he buys those cowboy shirts?
Traveler.
But he has a cowboy shirt on, like with those little. Like, that's what this kid was wearing that, and I'm like, why are you wearing that? You know, he wasn't like a little Amish kid. He was wearing like a fucking.
I didn't notice that.
He was like a little.
The one with the big hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't look like he fit at all.
He had the Quaker Oats hat. You know, he was wearing his Pawpaw's hat.
And then fucking that couple, man. I mean, I know we're in different times, but if that jarhead would have squared up on her, I don't know how much I could blame the guy. I mean, she was getting fucking. She was.
It's so true.
Like, she was like being passive aggressive. This motherfucker, you could tell he has some PTSD, right? Because he sees the cornfield and he's back in the jungle. Like, you know what?
Oh, yeah. The cornfield running from
everything he comes across reminds him of the story in Nam.
Yes, everything. Which, by the way, is not the fault of this film. That seems to be a trope with a lot of films that have non-veterans. They always go back to that time.
Yeah,
and
house, right?
Yeah, this guy's looking for Charlie in the cornfields. He can't
find Big Lebowski. Not everything is about Nam.
Yeah. And this chick just ragging on him, making fun of him. You know, why did I marry you? And this and that. So already, and she's a cutie. I'll be honest. I don't know what happened to that actress, but this dude.
I looked her up.
She's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, she's done a lot of TV.
Okay. And this guy's like a low rent fucking Jesse Pinkman. Did you guys notice that? Like,
yes.
He looks like the cast of he looks like the lead in like a failed Fox show, you know?
Exactly.
Like about dinosaurs or something.
Yeah.
Like, remember that fucking show? It's like, yeah, that guy was in it. Yeah, that guy.
What a great description.
And then their logic, like, so they're driving on the road, they're arguing, they end up hitting this kid. They smash this fucking kid by.
Oh yeah.
They drag him, and when they
hit
him with the tires, he says,
"When I hit him, he was dead."
No, what makes me laugh is because this guy has seen war. He just knows how to diagnose this kid, right? Because he's seen some horrible shit in his time. So this kid's all mangled up. You don't know which way is right or wrong. And he's like, oh, somebody slashed his throat. Like, how do you know that? This guy's mincemeat right in front of you. Like, there's not.
Somebody must have used a bayonet.
Yeah, in Nebraska, where they have
no $2 buck.
And then it's like, no, let's call for help. So let's leave him here. Let's not touch the evidence. No, they decide to throw us in the back and go to the nearest town so they could rat on themselves, and that'll be that, you know.
So it's not suspicious putting a dead body in your trunk.
I know. Honey, we'll just drop him off and head back to town.
I gotta show you something we picked up.
To be fair,
it's not what it looks like, but
the girl was against that, by the way. So let's give her credit for that. She was against that plan.
That's true. She did just want to leave.
Yeah. And he's like, no, it's in my conscience because he's a soldier, you know. So he's seen some of he slapped some of his fellow men in the battlefield. He didn't want to leave this kid. So they go back into town, and then during this time, you have a bunch of teenagers, folks. There's only one actual children of the corn in this movie, and that's the main guy. All the other guys,
half of them were 40 years old at 300 pounds.
Yeah, but that little kid though, he'll fucking throw a knife and get your ass. Doesn't matter where you're at. But he's like fucking Hawkeye's son, you know what I mean? He's like
Nebraska corn.
Good, Chuck. I like it.
They should be like playing college football and getting laid on Friday nights, you know, instead of over here like.
Oh, somebody gets laid here in this movie.
Yeah, right in front of the little kids, man. That's
I was that was another questioning. Like, is this allowed?
I know, right?
I thought we were gonna have a Midsommar moment. They were gonna start pushing his ass down.
Headlights come across my window when that scene was on. I was like, oh shit, they're coming to get me. Like, like this was a trap.
The thing about that film, when they shot it, that little kid, the main guy, Isaac or whatever, he's a kid. Right? You could tell. There's a nude scene. You know, like how they get away with that shit. But anyways, so the jarhead goes to the town. And somehow it becomes like an action movie because he starts beating the fuck out of these teenagers. Like he doesn't, and it's, to me, it's a trip because he's worried about this kid that he has in the trunk, but he starts like killing these other teenagers like really bad. You know how like when you're trained to fight, they tell you have to just like subdue your opponent or drop them. You don't want to like whoop their ass because that could take you get a prison term for that. But this motherfucker's like slashing heads and fucking carving throats and all that shit, you know?
But this is after they blew up his car. He thought they killed his wife.
That's true. And then
listen, if there's a bunch of people after you, you take that motherfucker down.
I know. It's
me or them.
Yeah, after watching a bunch of these movies, it's about time.
Yeah, exactly. This is like movie 10 for us, and I'm like, fuck those kids, man. Let them, give them what for.
He warned them.
Let's go, Bert.
He was like, you don't want to do this. I know I can take you.
I'll fuck you up. This is my shit.
And he immediately breaks that kid's arm.
How come in one scene, Brian, he ran into the cornfield and they all stopped? It's like they didn't want to follow him, but then later they came after him. What's up with that? They lost me on that one.
I thought that was just a nice touch from all the different corn movies that like he ran into the corn and the kids are like, uh-oh. Like, that's a Vietnam vet in there. That man's fucked up and you triggered something in him and he's going to kill all of you.
That's right.
And they didn't come after him until like 10 minutes later, and then he's they're still right behind him somehow.
No, but the thing was like also these kids, like some of them had like designer haircuts. Like there was that one that was fighting him in the alley that had like a comb over, like that one bully from The Simpsons, right? And I'm like, dude, like, where are you getting the money for this? You just killed all the adults. Who's cutting your hair? Like it's but yeah, it was just eventually they catch up to. Well, no, they don't catch up to him. The fucking whatever the fuck they call him.
He who rocks behind the road.
Yeah, you guys know that because you guys seen all fucking 35 of these films. Yeah, he fucking kills them. He kills fucking Aaron Paul. Like all, you know, we're with this guy for this whole movie and he just fucking dies. You know,
but this is the only corn movie where the kids win. The kids win.
Is it?
Isaac fucking walks off. He mic drops and walks off the screen.
That's true.
And fucking credits roll. I was like,
did you guys see the end credit?
Yes, I did.
This movie.
Yeah, both of them had end credits. This one and the other one.
Oh,
well,
really?
Malachi doesn't win. All the older kids, they have to go walk into the corn at night because they didn't fulfill their promises. Their destiny. He who rocks lowers the age from 19 to 18, and everybody's like, "Oh, guess I gotta walk in the corn now."
Yes.
Takes a whole chunk of them out at once.
Malachi looks at his girlfriend and he says, "Raise our baby right," and then he walks into the corn.
Bunch of pregnant girls left behind, pregnant teenagers.
It was cool they had Malachi back though. I like that. Malachi's the best, and they got a redheaded kid to play him. That was cool. I didn't like that they fucking
redheaded guy. You mean redheaded guy? It was no kid, man. I guess 35 years old.
It was a grown
I didn't like.
man.
Remember when M. Night Shyamalan made Airbender, and everyone called him Ong instead of Aang, and it's like super irritating. Stop calling him Malachi. God damn it! It's Malachi. We all know it. Cut it out.
Malachi.
Stop Malachi.
You know what was annoying? How like every fucking that little kid's comeback was always a verse from the Bible. Like he just pulled them out of his ass, but he was always right, though. Like he knew what to come back with from the Bible. That's pretty cool.
Well, it's easy when you can see him reading the cue cards off to the side
Yeah,
of the camera.
That's true.
Yeah,
At
not
the very
the
beginning.
greatest actors in this movie.
No, at the very beginning of the movie, he was doing like I thought he was Joel Osteen there for a minute. I mean, he almost had me ready to give my life to Christ the way he was talking, you know?
That's right. Yeah, he was ready to.
But that lady, man, with her jabs at Bert, where she's like, "Is that what your Sarge taught you to do in the bush?" Bert's just like, "Yo, you gotta relax. He's gonna kill you. You gotta calm down." And he slapped her, and I was like,
she got off light. She got off light.
I'm just like,
I was thinking for 1975, you got off easy, girl. So just chill, right?
Right.
Listen, freedom of speech, but you can only talk so much before you get punched in the face.
she's like, he hits the kid, right? And it's like, it goes back and it shows the tires hit him, and it's the kid goes, ugh. I'm like, oh my god. And then she gets out. She's like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna? She says, what are you gonna do? Like 94 times. It's like. If you'd let him get over there, he'd tell you.
Yeah, come look at him. Come see what you've done.
See what you did, soldier man.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like,
come see what you did so you can tell your
Big
NRA
bad
buddies
soldier
what you
Like
did.
he just got home. Like, why are you on him like this?
That's why you don't stick your dick in crazy.
Like that
She
was
straight
wild.
up tells him, "What are you gonna do? Cut my tits off and make moccasins out of them like you did in Vietnam?"
Damn, that's hardcore.
She's giving
Man.
him ideas. She's giving him ideas.
That was wild. That was wild.
Throughout this movie, I'm just like, do you two even know each other?
I know.
Because she makes references. I guess you didn't grow up a preacher's kid, and he says something. I guess you didn't grow up a farmer's daughter, and I was like, do you guys even know each other at all?
Yeah, and I think she was a prom queen. I think he keeps calling her the prom queen or something.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. Kept calling her the prom queen.
He wanted lunch. We're gonna get lunch. Like, and then I love how like they're looking at all these stores. I can't find anybody, and then later on he looks in the stores and it's all dead bodies in there, and I'm like, you didn't see that? You were looking in all the stores. Like,
But you know what?
Now-
I'll say this about this movie. Like it was never boring. Like that's
true. That's true.
like you know, it just moved. It moved. And so to me that's a plus. So it's not the worst movie. Like the next one we're gonna cover right now in a little bit. That one, the first half is just so fucking boring to me.
Yeah.
But this one was it just moves and you know you're in it and so it was. I had a good time with it. You know, it's not the greatest movie in the world.
It's no Night Swim. It's no Night Swim.
the characterization of Bert and Vicky are just so wildly different from anything we've gotten in Children of the Corn. The fact that they're like the legacy characters, right?
Right.
And they're just done in this crazy way where like Bert is this PTSD Vietnam vet, Vicky is this ex-prom queen complete psycho. It's just like I loved it. I was like, this is crazy. The kids were there and Malachi was back and that was fun. And like, no, there's not a body count, but I'm glad we watched Disciples of the Crow before this because this had a lot of things from that. Where he took the car keys, that whole scene, and then when the kids attacked the car, like that shit didn't happen in Children of the Corn, but it happened in this one. And then, but a lot of this one was like the lines, straight up lines were just lifted from that first movie and delivered again here. And so it brought a lot of those nostalgia back because that first one's the best one of all of them. And so this is scratching that itch.
Got the member berries going, huh?
Mm-hmm.
How did he not hear her honking the horn out there with all the kids attacking
when they were
her?
breaking
He did.
the glass
He looked up and he was like,
Well,
not until the gunshots happened, he was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, then when she shot the shotgun and Malachi. Remember when Malachi juked her and she shot that other kid?
Was my next question. I'm like, these kids have been beating on this car for like 10 minutes, and you got a shotgun in the back seat.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I couldn't believe when he stabbed that fat kid and then he snapped the neck of that other kid. I was like, damn.
Yeah,
that's two at once. Like you know,
I'm
used to seeing that. And then he's like running there. He's seeing like a kid run behind him, and then he sees like a like a Vietnam soldier run behind him. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
He there. Oh shit. You're fucked now, kids. Run!
That,
You gotta get out of there.
that was probably the original intent of this movie. Like somebody wrote it as like a Vietnam flashback movie, and then just sort of stuck it in the Children of the Corn universe.
That's
right.
I can see that.
That was
What
cool.
about that whole scene where he's in the alleyway and the one kid's just behind him?
Yeah, I'm like,
holding
do something.
the
Would you do something?
weapon, and he's like, he's not even turning around to look
I
at
know.
him. The kid has just fucking hit him over the head with
Yeah.
it and
Maybe
gone
don't
running.
turn your
And
back
the
on the
whole
guy
time
with
he's
the
sitting
axe.
back like this, you know.
Then
Really?
you have that poor little kid, not a really good, not very believable actor, but a adorable
Right.
little kid in the corner talking about it's 3:00 by the sun, missing all his teeth. I'm like, aw,
The kid
Oh,
with
he-
the fucking gap in his teeth. Right
oh,
here.
you're gonna die, little boy. You're gonna die real bad. Sure as
The one
shit.
that was supposed to be like the next prophet.
Well, he's a prophet.
Sure.
Yeah, he ain't prophesizing shit
like-
because he wakes up because homeboy snaps out of one of his crazy fucking Vietnam flashbacks, and that little boy's got a hole in
Right.
his neck.
Oh, the gunfight in the cornfield.
Play stupid
Yeah,
games,
there was
win
like
stupid
actual
prizes.
machine gun fire in the cornfield. That was nuts. This movie,
That was
it-
crazy.
it aimed for the fences. It was like, you know what? We're gonna try something.
Yeah. No, I
Hear me out.
liked it. Yeah, it was a fun little romp. I'll never watch it again, but it was a cool movie.
That being said, huh?
Yeah.
Brian, what do you think?
I didn't hate it. I agree with Pedro. There wasn't a dull moment through the whole movie. I mean, you think the movie's going to go one way when they completely destroy that kid
Right.
with the car in the beginning, and then you get this whole drama between the couple, which this has to be. I thought it was Disciples of the Crow. That was the worst couple ever in this
Not
franchise.
anymore.
This takes the cake because
Yeah.
Like
she was.
it like triggered trauma for me from my childhood. So I was like, are they gonna hit each other? You're just
Hey,
like, you felt uncomfortable and shit. You're like, oh man.
I mean, I'm not all with it, but she was asking for it. I mean, she was like, you didn't do shit in Nam except oil rifles and fill Zippos. I was like, damn.
Yeah, she was rough, man.
Like she was cutting deep on those little passive aggressive bullshit things that she like. Man, you
I
really
can't
fucking
drive.
hate this
You know
guy.
I get migraines.
That's
Like,
right.
why-
She's talking about her
Oh
bike
God.
shit.
Why are you driving through fucking Nebraska with this dude? Like, I don't understand why she's even in the car. Because she obviously hates him. Like, hates.
Yeah, hates his guts, huh? She said that at one point, right? She said, "I hate your guts."
Yeah, that's
I think
what I
she
was
said
like.
that at one point.
And this is the first time I've seen this movie all the way through. Like I've seen the opening where they're yelling at each other, and I turned it
Yeah.
off for some whatever reason. But like, so when she dies, I'm like, oh, thank God.
I
But
know.
like
Yeah.
so quickly. But then I'm like, oh, they're really changing
Oh,
the fucking
man.
first movie. Here we go. So cool.
Yeah, and then that third act goes all like A24 on us with fucking all of a sudden there's
boy.
like they start mating with each other and Isaac
Yeah, little
Yeah,
kid
that was
jumping
wild.
up and down, celebrating.
Yeah, they're like, ah.
Right. That
Like,
got weird.
shaking their sticks and shit. I'm like,
You would think for such a religious little community that they, wouldn't fuck in front of each other.
Well, and,
That's what
and, like,
religion is.
and it was
though, Philip.
weird.
Come
Like
on.
the moans really sold it. I was like,
Yeah.
Right.
Uncomfortable.
all this is weird. I don't like it. Like
Yeah.
I kept looking for the door. Like this is the moment someone's gonna walk in. I know.
But
I know.
That's why the end credit had me questioning things. Who's gonna raise all these little new babies?
Isaac.
Right.
He's gonna,
He who
he's
rocks.
gonna cover him with his hat and shade.
He who rocks lowered the age, and everybody was just like, "Oh, so I got to walk in the corner and die now." It was like 7 of them off top.
Yeah.
It was a big group.
Immediately.
I was like, those are your heavy hitters, bro. Those are your heavy
know.
hitters.
Yeah.
And
I know.
your ranks are thinned out already. Bert took it to you, fellas. Like you gotta.
That's
Right.
true. That's
And
true.
they
time is
clearly-
not for.
Malachi's fucking 25 years old. What are you doing?
They
Easy,
clearly
easy.
thought they were going to make a sequel off this because the Malachi's girlfriend has a vision of her burning the corn down. And
Oh,
flashes
shit.
back, and the
I
movie
missed
ends.
that. Okay, I missed that.
Or we can just call. What was that last one where the girl escapes with the kid and has like the mechanic friend that gets.
That's right.
We'll just call that the sequel to this one.
Oh,
Well,
There you go.
that makes sense.
I guess. Quentin Tarantino style, huh? Going back
Yeah.
and forth in the timeline.
Oh yeah, it's like Fast and the Furious, and you actually have to watch this one, and then this one comes.
Oh,
for
that's
it, you
right.
know.
That's right. That's
And
right.
if you
He was there the
watch
whole
back to
time
this
in the
movie, he was
background.
back there in the background. Yeah, exactly. He who walks behind the rose, he's been here the whole time.
He's in the background of every scene. Lance, what'd you think?
I kind of fucking hated it, man. This was fucking stupid. Yeah, like I said, you got 400-pound dudes with huge beer bellies that are 40 years old running through the corn, chasing these kids, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, you're 18, it's like Logan's Run, and they kill you, or you got to commit suicide or whatever, and then you guys are talking about the the A24 moment where they're doing the Midsommar sex scene. When they're all fucking praying and stuff like that. It got weird, man. This was stupid. This I didn't care for this one at all, man. And then you got the fucking what were we talking about? Every Vietnam flashback movie possible. He's in the corner and he turns around. There's like skeletons, like in House. There's skeletons like with machine guns shooting at the kids in the corn and stuff like that. And then they're chasing him, and he stops at the corn and doesn't know where to go from there. And then at the end, they're like, up there. I don't know. The one chick was dead the whole time after they pulled her out of the car.
But all that was awesome.
Explain that. It was.
Yeah.
It was awesome in a dumb way.
Exactly. Like, that's his whole franchise.
Kind of hard to.
It's not good.
It's hard. It's hard
But
to
it's
review
awesome.
it, man, because it's kind of like bizarre and fucked up, but just.
What was wrong with that, Lance? Like
Story.
I mean, that makes it pretty awesome.
The only thing it was missing was Dan Stevens coming out with a piccolo. I mean, I don't know.
Dan Stevens as Bert. Give me that.
This
movie.
was bad. Oh, man.
Dan Stevens says Bert doing a German accent for no reason in the middle of Nebraska. I would watch that movie for sure.
Yes.
So maybe this one took the short story and ran with it instead of trying to
Probably
base it
so,
mostly off the
yeah,
first
probably so.
movie.
I think you're right, man.
yeah.
'Cause
Let's
it
make
does-
this couple really hate each other.
It does seem a lot
Right.
more like the little short that we watched,
Mhm.
which was before Children of the Corn. But yeah,
Makes sense. Makes
Yeah.
In
sense.
the first movie, that couple actually really loved each other.
yeah, they were like
cared
real
for each
couple.
other's well-being.
But this one, like, they hated each other and it made no sense. Like they just hated each other.
Where
for
are
no
you
reason.
going? And why are you driving? Because-
It felt like they just, like when he got back, they met at a bar, got drunk, got married, went on this road trip,
Yeah.
and realized they hated each other.
Yeah, it's like, man, you should have dropped her off at a gas station 100 miles ago, dude. What are you doing?
Yeah, there
Right.
should have been that line of dialogue where he's like, "I never should have married you." She's like, "Yeah, probably not. We only met 2 days ago." Like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, this all makes sense
Now
now.
it makes sense.
You know what we needed to do is we need to make a movie where we show Eric Draven, this version of Eric Draven,
I was
the
about
Crow.
to say this reminds me of the Crow.
What his
right now.
future would have looked like if Danny Houston hadn't killed his chick, because that was their future too. They only, they're
Right,
enabled
right.
drug addicts, and they only know each other for a week. That was their future. So
Once they
You know.
try to get their act together, it's going to be their first sober road trip. 10 minutes
Yeah.
in, I fucking hate you.
Perfect.
stupid
Hedger
fucking
just
haircut.
nailed it. Hedger just nailed it.
And now there's a bunch of murderous children after us. Well, children in quotes. Yeah,
Listen, my kids are in middle school, all right? Or two of them are. And I'm going to tell you something. Them kids are fucking big, bro.
that's
all right?
true.
Kids are fucking big. I do camera work and shit at high schools. I feel like embarrassed walking around there. Them kids are way bigger than me. So
That's true.
You know what I mean?
My
Like,
14-year-old son
I'm
is
not-
almost as big as I am.
I'm not trying to say anything about anything.
But yeah, I'd like the acting was pretty terrible. The main dude, I didn't hate him. I thought he did an okay job. Obviously the wife was, and I mean she was gorgeous, but she was insane, and didn't look like she was dressed for the 70s at all. Like they had to tell me that it was the 70s, otherwise I never would have known. The kids were mostly adults and and seemed like extras that they just picked up from the neighborhood.
Yeah, that kid with the comb over, he really fucking, I don't know.
Yeah. So it was bad for sure, but I mean it did keep me entertained. I like it. I don't know how to rate this.
So bad it's good, huh? So bad it's good.
Like almost, but maybe not quite. Because okay, so I guess we'll get into it more in the next review. But the 2021 was probably a better movie.
Okay.
But
This one, production wise, yeah.
But this one
sure
kept my attention more, I think.
Okay. Fair
so
enough.
There's that.
I mean, yeah, more than fair.
It was insanity. This movie was insane. This is the most insane Children of the Corn movie that I've seen.
And that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know. Urban Harvest still with that kid with his head that fucking goes off. And...
that was great.
Come on, Urban Harvest rules.
Urban Harvest was pretty fun.
Remember the basketball scene? Come on, we can't forget the basketball scene in Urban Harvest. Come on, guys.
Which one was the motorized wheelchair kill?
That was part 2.
Great.
Oh,
with the remote part. Yes.
So this is like I said, I started watching them from the beginning because I know that Dimension Films, right? Even though, Harvey Weinstein, all that he's a fucking monster. We all know that, but they make some pretty.
If you can't watch any of the movies, you're fucked, man. That's like the Michael Jackson thing,
I'm in this thing right now where I want to watch as much as like Dimension films from the 90s as possible, right? Because they made some pretty good films. Like they still had money, but they were direct to video, so they weren't as terrible. And I gotta say, Children of the Corn 2 and 3 are really good. Like as movies, like they're really actually good. And they're actually direct sequels from the first one, so they're not rehashing the same shit. I thought
sets up a crazy. Remember 3 sets up the crazy thing at the end where they're gonna ship all that fucking fucked up corn all over the world. I'm like, let's go.
Yeah. Children of the Corn in the city, they did it better than fucking Jason Takes Manhattan. I'll tell you that.
That's true.
And then you had part 2 with the reporter dad and his kid. So it was those were good. Part 4 and that was all right. And then The Gathering or whatever. But yeah, no, there's good movies in there, like actual good movies, especially 2 and 3.
All right, let's go scores. Pedro, what do you think?
I'm gonna go 5 on 10 on this one. I think that's a fair score. It was entertaining. I'm not gonna fuck up my own scale like Lance did and give it a 7 on 10, even though I did have a good time with it. So I'm gonna go 5 on 10. I think that's a fair score.
All right, Steve.
Feels weird trying to give it a real score because usually we do our Children of the Corn scale, and I'm like, well, I mean, for Children of the Corn, this is like really high up there. You know what I'm saying? Like compared to the other ones, it's fucking great. It is probably like a 5 on the scale, but like for my Children of the Corn rating, it's way up there. It's probably it's just underneath part 1 for me is my favorite one.
Oh, damn.
Oh wow!
Just because like it just does that same story, which is the story I love, the original Children of the Corn story, and it just does it with they just add some crazy shit. They're like, here, we're just gonna inject some fucking caffeine and like, a little bit of fucking LSD into this crazy story, and like, let him run around and think he's getting shot in Vietnam. I'm like, well, all right, let's do it. So
let's do it.
I really like this one. Second favorite in the series.
Brian?
We'll go a little bit higher. We'll go 5.5. I thought with all the drama with the couple was going to get old for me, but it just added something new to the franchise, and definitely the worst couple out of 10 movies so far.
Like every time she said something, I was like, damn, you going to let her talk to you like that?
Imagine that couple with the kid from the Babadook in the back seat. I think the universe would have imploded on itself. It just wouldn't be able to take that kind of negative energy.
Every time she said something, it just reminded me of that line from David Arquette in Scream when he was like, "You must be the killer," because that line really cut deep. Like every time she said something, it was just.
You know what?
Damn.
Right.
I just remembered something, Brian. I'm gonna have to do the what's it called? What are you doing to me? You keep doing the Price is Right thing where you up at 50. I'm gonna up you a 0.5 and go to 6 because they kept the original score. I forgot about that.
Ah.
They had the original
noticed that.
theme, and that's classic for me. So 6.
All right. Lance, what do you think? Not a 6.
It's a 1.
Come on.
Man.
So Night Swim entertain you more than this movie?
You think Night Swim? Honestly, you think Night Swim is better than this?
No. but this is bad. I'm getting back to my roots here. This is terrible.
You can't stop the Night Swim jokes.
It's
All right,
just
I'll
rough.
stop. That's the last time I'm ever going to mention it.
No, it's not.
Yes. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Not until your top 10 list comes out, huh?
Yeah. It won't be on there.
It better be.
It's at least an honorable mention.
I got replaced by Imaginary. I haven't told you guys, so.
Oh no, that's even worse. That's worse. Okay.
The teddy bear.
Yeah, it was definitely a bad movie, but it was an entertaining bad movie, and so it might hit that so bad that it's good level.
I can see that.
I think a 5 is a pretty fair score for this movie. It was not great, but it was entertaining.
It's been interesting to
So,
see how many of these Children of the Corn movies had actually gotten favorable reviews during this retrospective.
Yeah.
Like, not only a couple of them we really shit on. The other ones were like, it's
Favorable by us or Lance?
by us. Lance hasn't liked any of them. He didn't even like the first one. I think he gave the first one a 2. I was like, what? I think I gave it like a 9 or some shit. I was like, this is good. My favorites.
All right. Well, that one was fun. Let's move on to 2020 or 22 or whatever the hell it is. The film describes the events leading up to and including the massacre of the adults in a small town in Nebraska by their children after the adults' irresponsibility ruins the crop and the children's future. Is that what happened?
Sure.
Yes.
Director and writer is Kurt Wimmer, also known for The Beekeeper and Law Abiding Citizen. Filmed during the 2020 lockdowns, it was able to avoid production shutdown due to being financed from an indie production. The black and white program on the television early on in the film is The Twilight Zone Season 3 episode It's a Good Life, where a young boy with incredible abilities holds a small town hostage and sends anyone and anything that displeases him to the cornfield. Ah, that was a good episode.
That was also in Twilight Zone the movie.
Yes. And there was a sequel in the 2002 version of the Twilight Zone with that kid growing up.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, Pedro, what do you think about this one?
This one was weird because I really liked the second half a lot because this one makes up for the 09 version with the gore. Like, this was a very gory movie, I thought, especially the third act. And it really picks up in the third act. But man, that first act, where it's like more of this political statement about capitalism and a fucking, the GMOs and the whole time we're just waiting because essentially they're using that time so this little girl could create her army, right?
Sure.
And it's that whole thing about these stupid adults because nobody pays no mind to that. Like, this little girl's killing people and the kids are acting weird and everybody's like, oh, it's cool. Because she's wearing fucking wigs for some reason, like a red fucking wig all of a sudden, because she's like the Red Queen supposedly. Like, I don't know. And then you have like a knockoff fucking what's the one girl from Stranger Things? She reminded me of her. 11.
Oh,
11. Yeah. A knockoff 11. But the first half just was boring. But the second half was really good. Obviously the adults weren't over with me. They were just, boring. The guy that adopts that little girl, I think her name's Eden, right? The one that's wearing the wig.
What a creeper he looked like.
That's a very creepy scene because he's an old man that looks like the main bad guy from Poltergeist 2, Kane. Remember Kane?
That's what I was thinking too, Kane.
And he's over here. You could live with me, and his fucking his tobacco stained teeth are like just smiling at her and shit.
Did they reveal that he was a pedophile?
I believe so. Well, they implied it.
Man.
Okay.
He was like, you didn't sin, and she was like, you know what sin you committed, and they just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even catch that.
She was like, you sinned. You know you did. He was like, and he just looked all scared. It's like,
So yeah,
oh.
so the first time we're kind of meeting like our heroes of the story, right? Which really just ends up being one hero, the girl, knockoff of 11 or whatever. And then and she's got the worst fucking haircut known to man. She's got like this scrunchy fucking hair that doesn't move at all. She's running, she's crying, and the fucking hair just stays there, which annoyed the fuck out of me. And so essentially she builds her army, and then that's where the movie really starts, in like about 45, 50 minutes in. Then she starts just taking out the town. I think this is also one where the kids win, because at the end even she gets taken out by the demon or entity or whatever at the end. So this movie, I mean, yeah, I'm conflicted because I really enjoyed the second half, like I really did. And again, I think this is one of, just because they had the budget to really go all out with the second half. But I don't know, I didn't like it better than 2009. I mean, I thought it was not as good, just a little boring in the beginning. And yeah, I mean, I don't think I'll ever watch it again.
What did you think about the demon, the corn demon?
I thought it was like corn group.
They actually showed him this time.
Yeah, they actually showed him, and I thought it was cool. I mean, maybe as somebody who's like more of a traditionalist, you don't want to see the demon, but hey, they showed him. It was a pretty good little CGI there for a low budget movie. Or maybe not. We'll see from you guys' opinions. I thought it was cool.
Steve, what do you think?
There were parts of this movie I liked, but parts I didn't. I didn't like I'm like a stickler for like the classic stuff. I'm like, you didn't set it in freaking Gatlin. You know, it's
right.
There's no Isaac. It's this Eden, and I get, you know, making changes and all that. That's all fine, but I was mostly annoyed with our main protagonist, with her 17-year-old holier than thou, I know everything, and like these kids all have these opinions, but yet have no idea how any of this shit works. Like you have zero responsibility, so your opinion matters not for what's happening here.
Right.
Like really calm down. Like and it's the overacting from her. Every look is like big, huge eyes and deep breaths, and everything is like very powerful and like, like it's just, I hate it. I didn't think that the kid actors were all that good in this one, the killers as they would be, and I wasn't a big fan of the He Who Walks Behind the Groot monster. Like it was better than it was better than Urban Harvest, whatever that weird rat demon thing was. It was better than that.
I guess that's
but
true. I forgot about that one.
I kind of just like, whenever I think of He Walks Behind the Rose, I always just think of like a shadow figure, you know, just like something spooky, you know, influencing the kids. You make it into a monster that eats people. I'm like,
I know.
Like a literal corn demon that rips people in half.
So for me, it took some swings that I'm not necessarily sure that it nailed. And like Pedro was saying, like it's kind of boring. Like it's the whole opening credits of the first movie is this movie.
Right.
Okay.
And then you don't get any of the movie. It's like how the kids took over the town, which I guess it is a cool idea to explore. Yeah. I just don't know if necessarily I like the way this movie explored it.
Right.
So.
Yeah. More than fair.
Man, took the words out of my mouth. Brian?
And I was going to say, and I think they explained, because they are in Gatlin in the beginning, right? But because they adopt the little girl, that's why there isn't that other town.
Yeah, I think
that's what it is.
This movie's technically supposed to be a prequel.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Is it?
Wait,
it doesn't, but it's all contemporary. Like those are like new cars.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah, but it's like a spiritual prequel.
So wait. So they destroy this town before they go to Gatlin?
I think so. Yeah, I think Brian's right. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
I missed the Gatlin reference, but
yeah, because I was wondering the whole time. I was like, why is this not Gatlin?
Yeah, this gets in Ralston, and I'm like, stop saying it. And these,
Brian, what do you think?
And these adults are terrible. Like, at no point does any of them punch one of these kids. Like,
well, except that one guy who keeps laughing at him. You guys are just kids. Boy,
wait till I get home.
He's definitely gonna
let me tell you this. If my kid wakes me up and I got zip ties on my wrist and they're like, come with me, I'm going to be like, oh, I'm going to fucking kill all of you. Like,
I ain't coming with
oh,
you.
man, you guys are so fucked. Like, my future, you're fucked.
she's just like, you're gonna come with us now, and he just kind of shrugs his shoulders like,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. I'm coming. That was stupid.
No. Not in this house.
Brian?
I totally hated the like first 30, 40 minutes of this movie, but once they get all the adults together, it picked up for me. Once they started taking over, killing the adults. Once the one kid, the main girl's little friend, once he gets whacked with that baseball bat and they fucked his face up,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is where I want to go. And I didn't mind He Who Rocks Behind the Corn Group Monster, because he was
Right.
picking people up and ripping them in half and just tossing them into the corn.
That was a cool scene.
I am
That was
Groot.
cool.
I am Groot. I am Groot.
I didn't care for the kid acting. I did like the little girl who
Yeah.
played Eden.
Yeah,
Oh,
Just
yeah.
her smug,
Super creepy, man.
Um,
Like little
kinda-
Chucky.
yeah, like I know something you guys don't know type of
Right.
attitude. And I
Yeah,
thought
but
it
then
was,
she had those lines of like I don't know, it's just like, this is for my friends. It was just like,
Well, she was kind of like a cross between Wednesday and Chucky for me.
Yeah.
I kind of like
Ah, there you go.
I kind of dug it.
but yeah, I didn't enjoy it as much as the previous one. But I'm also just kind of mixed with it, because that first half was just so boring, and then the second half was a completely different movie. So
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm gonna rate this one so far.
Yeah. I'm kind of out there too. Lance, what do you think?
I kind of enjoyed this one a little bit more. 'Cause I think it did have more gore in it. I think the little girl was like super fucking creepy. Like I could picture, like, you guys remember Adam's Family Values too, where she's like lighting the guys on fire. She's like playing the
she was
person.
making that one kid walk the plank off that thing.
I know.
Yeah.
And then
That
they
was
were
fun.
like,
That was fun to watch.
when he hits the ground, light it on fire.
Yeah.
See, I loved all that. So
Maybe
I
don't
don't
break
know,
his
man.
legs
I'm
first.
kinda
What are we
torn.
doing?
It wasn't a great movie by any stretch of the imagination. It wasn't like a super film, but it was kind of fun. It was kind of fun.
Yeah. So I don't know what to think about it. I mean, because the acting was definitely better in this one. But the movie, I think, was not as entertaining. So kind of the same
kind of
thing.
slow, huh?
Yeah, kind of the same thing you guys said. It was sort of boring in the first half. And then it picked up and got a little insane. But it wasn't really even a Children of the Corn story. I'm not even sure how this one plays into the next one. I mean, does everybody dies, right?
Yeah, the
Seems like
creature
it.
kills the lead girl at the end.
Yeah. So
But I mean, I don't
Guess
know where all
there's
those
nobody
kids
left.
were.
Yeah.
All those
Where
kids
do
are
you
that
go
she was
from there,
with.
right?
Well,
Yeah.
there's a bunch of kids she was standing with, but then it looks like she was standing on the fucking scorched earth at the end too. It's like, God damn,
Yeah.
how big was
Right,
that
everything's
cornfield?
gone.
It's as far as the eye could see. It's fucking nothing there.
um,
And then how does the corn monster get killed or like hurt with corn? Like, he's made of corn. He turns people into corn.
It's kind of weird.
He controls the
Kinda
corn,
weird.
and then she stabs him with a
Yeah.
thing of corn, and he's like how? That should be like more power. Like, he should be like,
Yeah.
like, like, oops, power up,
corn power up. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about the corn demon. I'm conflicted with it because I don't think that they should have shown him like at all, or if they did, maybe only in the shadows.
Sure.
But the scene with him grabbing somebody and ripping him in half was kind of cool.
That was cool.
I was
That was
fine with them showing it, because we're in movie 10 or 11 or whatever the fuck we're in now.
It's true.
So-
Right.
Yeah,
It's
but they
something
never
very
explain what it is, and if what it is just a bunch of grass and corn wrapped
fucking
around each
great,
other,
man.
I'm like, come on.
Well, then you have the happening.
I'd rather him be Bugs
Oh,
Bunny
no.
again. I'd rather go back to the Bugs Bunny from the first movie and
Yeah.
just have him flowing through like a Tremors monster. Like, let's just do that.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. Tripping people and shit while they're running.
Yeah,
was
there
good
you go.
stuff. Remember, it was like it didn't come out and try to rip Bert in half. It just made him fall. Like he's like running. It's like boop. He's like, oh, that slightly inconvenienced me for a second. Like, that's so good.
That's how you get them.
I like that scamp. He who walks behind the rose. You know, he's got jokes. That guy.
I did kind of like Eden. Let's see. The dad was okay. I didn't really hate the main character, but she definitely had a holier than thou thing going.
The dad,
Yeah.
KG Beast from Batman v Superman.
Ah,
Is that who that was? Okay.
100%. He's holding a gun or a flamethrower to Diane Lane at the end.
But yeah, it was kind of just okay for me. I don't really know what to, I'm
This
glad
girl-
this is the last one.
This girl's going away to college in like 3 months to go get some liberal arts degree in Boston, and she's
Yeah.
like trying to tell this town how to like run their business. I'm like, would you shut up?
know.
Would you go away?
All the corn is
This
gone.
does not concern you.
All the corn is gone, and they're gonna pay you
Right.
to not grow it. What is it that you want to do at this point?
It's not only gone, the corn won't grow, and
Right.
someone's gonna pay you not to try to grow it anymore.
but
It's
they're
like we
go-
should
but, like-
heal the soil, bitch. How you gonna do that?
Yeah. Good luck.
I don't
Good
know, but you
luck.
know what we shouldn't draw attention to? All the kids covered in blood, painting the roots. What?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
she doesn't even tell any of the adults about that. Like, no, what does she do? She starts binding their parents' hands together. And like, come on, man. Like, those kids just gutted that pig and painted all of its guts all over the fucking corn. Like, you gonna
That
team up with
was
them?
such a weird scene. It's like, what are you doing? Painting the roots with blood? Okay, I'm gonna need you to get all the adults over to the town hall.
Clean yourself up first, though, because this is weird. And where did you get the equipment to dig this giant fucking hole that you can get in and out of,
That's
but
a
the
good
adults
point.
can't really?
That's a good point.
Well, apparently
How did they
these
get that?
kids can use farm equipment because they
Sure,
bury.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I understand how they could do it without the adults knowing when the adults are in the hole, but like I don't understand how they did that without the adults knowing. I'm gonna tell you right now, if one of my kids uses any of my tools, I'm gonna know. If I don't even have a fucking backhoe, but if I did, you know, what the hell are you doing out there, JR?
One way or the other,
Like,
you're
Well,
gonna
clearly
know.
they used that one guy's tools. The one guy that told his son, "Wait till I get home, boy," because clearly that guy's been drinking all day. So
Look
Yeah,
that
they
way,
didn't. The
it?
parents didn't. They didn't do a good job of like, like only the main girl's dad was slightly sympathetic. Everybody else was like missing teeth and like
A
super,
bunch of assholes. Yeah.
super like, ow, gonna get you.
Just didn't even look
Kane-
like
Kane
he's from this
Poltergeist
town.
too.
He didn't, and he's just like he's like so calm. They don't deserve that guy. That guy
Yeah,
is a
it's-
sweetheart.
It seems like she probably should have left once they killed her boyfriend with a baseball bat.
Well, and that's the other thing. They didn't really like. We got that death, which was really good. We got the ripping in half from Groot, which is cool. We got the old man that kind of was on screen because like at one point it's his regular face, and then the next scene his eyes are all fucked up, and that's before she even touches him. So I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a
That's
little
true.
weird. And then, but then the only other real deaths that we see are like her two friends that are up in the rafters.
Oh,
And
the
those
ones
looked cool.
She signed their death warrant. Like,
Yes.
join my cause. Everything will be okay.
And that looked cool, but we didn't get to see that. We just saw the aftermath, and that was cool. And then like the reporter lady, we got
Yeah,
to see her get
Weathers?
dragged away.
Oh.
All right. Scores. Pedro, what do you think?
I'm gonna go 4 on 10.
4 on 10. Okay.
Yeah.
Steve?
Yeah, I'm right there. If the last
Yeah.
one was a 6, this is about 4.
Okay. Brian?
The Price is Right. This I'm gonna go 4.25.
Okay.
Every time you have
Just
to
a little
keep
bit
doing
higher. Lance, what do you think?
Bringing it back to 4.
Oh, okay.
Well, hey, that's
Yeah.
that's better than the last one for
Ah,
you, which you
the
said it
Groot-
was.
It's weird. I
Ripping-
give something a 4 that I
Groot
don't
ripping
like.
that kid in half was great.
Yeah, I think 4 is a pretty fair score for this movie. Because I mean, it had some production quality and some decent acting and stuff. It just, it wasn't a great movie.
Yeah,
is what it
fair
is.
enough.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Steve, Pedro, thanks for joining us. Steve, thank God this is our last one.
Steve's gonna announce our next film franchise.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Brian asked me a couple weeks ago what the next franchise retrospective we should do now the Children of the Corn was ending to keep this whole little thing going. And in light of our recent terrible werewolf movie experience, I figured let's keep the werewolf movies going with a Howling retrospective.
I'm looking forward to
I
that.
don't know that I've seen many.
I
of those.
definitely haven't seen all of those.
Yeah.
So
One of them's called Your Sister is a Werewolf or something.
I know
Yeah.
the third one takes place in Australia and it's subtitled
Okay.
The Marsupials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait, man. This will be fun.
So were-kangaroos or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, there's like 7 of them, I think. So
That's the
good luck with that.
7. Okay. Well, won't be as long as Children of the Corn, at least, Pedro.
That's true, and they're not as bad either. I mean, they're watchable. At least the first
Okay.
4. I don't know about the other ones.
Well, we're gonna find out together. So we want to thank you guys as always for listening to another episode of The Horror Returns. Just go to thehorrorreturns.com or email us at thehorrorreturns@gmail.com, and we'll get back with you next week. Christmas spirit stuff, right, Brian?
I don't have my notes, so I'm assuming
Okay.
yes.
I think it's Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 and 3.
3 and
Fine.
4.
3 and
Good
4.
luck with that.
3 and 4.
Let me double
Silent-
check.
those have a cool poster.
Silent Night, Deadly Nights, Part 2 and 3.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. Well, and on that note, Pedro, until the horror returns again.
Good night.